Like and subscribe for more. I am in Konoha. My Mangekyō ring can deduce everything. By author Don't Want Insomnia, traveling through the world of Hokage, becoming a member of Akaya, facing the night of genocide. Baizhuan opened the Mangekyō ring with the power of deduction. Fire-style chakra mode, fire elementalization technique, inferno-style blood successor limitation, constant escape blood successor elimination, sage mode a mittel. Sunstar King. Use knowledge to control power, use science to develop blood, use wisdom to evolve life, and the end of the pursuit of truth will eventually be omniscient and omnipotent. Chapter 1 Baizhuan and Mangekyō ring, the outskirts of the Akaya tribe. Suddenly, two streaks of scarlet fluorescent light appeared in the dark and quiet room. This is a pair of eyes. The number 8 lying flat is printed on the pupil, which is a symbol of infinity. This is also Baizhuan's Mangekyō ring Sharingan. The pupil technique for the left eye is called learning, and the pupil technique for the right eye is called deduction. What a pair of powerful eyes! Just as I surmised. Just muttering in a low voice like this, Baizhuan couldn't help raising the corners of his mouth, showing a satisfied smile. Before crossing, Baizhuan was an ordinary college student who died suddenly after studying all night in order to go ashore for the postgraduate entrance examination. After crossing, Baizhuan became a Akaya. His parents were both ninjas, and they died together on the battlefield, but they also left Baizhuan a rich legacy. It is precisely because of this legacy that Baizhuan is able to continuously learn ninja-related knowledge and conduct some simple scientific research. And this pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan is Baizhuan's biggest scientific research achievement in these years. Mangekyō ring Sharingan, the pupil that reflects the mind. When Akaya is extremely stimulated, a special chakra will flow out of the brain, acting on the optic nerve and causing changes in the eyes. Advertisement. The power of the Sharingan is synchronized with the power of the mind. The stronger the power of the mind, the stronger the Sharingan. And the spiritual power here can also be understood as spiritual power, or the power of yin escape. The so-called yin dun comes from the spirit. It can create something out of nothing and create something out of nothing. This is also the foundation of Sharingan's strength. So if you want to activate Mangekyō ring Sharingan, stimulation is not the key. The key is the strength of mental power. Mental power is strong enough to open Mangekyō ring, and because the essence of Mangekyō ring is the power of yin escape and spiritual power, Mangekyō ring's pupil technique is also a kind of spiritual power. Obito witnessed Lin being pierced to death by Kakashi Rikiri, and thought he had lost everything, so Hollow was born. He wanted to destroy this world and create another world with Lin, so Kamui, who tore the space, was born. Ichi was brainwashed by the will of fire, and thought he was the inheritor of the will of fire, so he awakened Amaterasu. On the eve of the genocide, Ichi has been buying time, but the last moment will come. Ichi hopes that there will be more time is used to solve problems, and Tsukuyomi, who can freely manipulate time, was born. Shizue worked hard to eliminate the gap between the Akaya clan and the village, but he couldn't achieve his goal by himself, and his ideas have never been recognized, so his Mangekyō ring pupil technique was born, which is able to unconsciously manipulate other people's thoughts. Distinguished heavenly gods, the ultimate illusion. These examples all represent that Mangekyō ring's pupil technique is influenced by psychic power, is idealistic, and is a kind of existence similar to wishes. So through a series of methods such as illusion, visualization, self-hypnosis, and building a memory palace to strengthen my spiritual power, I opened this pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan, and possessed a strong learning ability and deduction of these two powerful pupil techniques. While thinking to himself, Baizhuan mobilized the chakra in his body. The pupil technique deduction was launched accordingly. As the infinity symbol in the right eye suddenly turned 180 degrees clockwise, the power of Yindun chakra also began to stimulate the brain cells, causing the activity of the brain cells to soar. In the state of deduction, Baizhuan only felt that his brain was extremely clear, and countless knowledge emerged in his mind. Advertisement. My fire-style chakra mode is almost perfect. This time, I will use the power of Mangekyō ring's pupil technique to perfect it. In Baizhuan's thinking, a large amount of knowledge began to be permuted and combined continuously, so that new knowledge was born to fill in the shortcomings of fire-style chakra mode. Fire-style chakra mode is a fire-style ninjutsu created by Beijuan referring to lightning-style chakra mode. It's just that the principle of lightning-style chakra mode is to use lightning to stimulate cells to increase cell activity and increase the conduction speed of nerves, so that ninjas have strong physical fitness and reaction speed, and because of the lightning wrapped around their bodies, they also gain strong defense. The principle of fire-style chakra mode is to characterize chakra in depth with fire-style, so that fire-style chakra fills the human body, while using temperature to enhance cell activity, and construct a fire-style chakra coat on the surface of the human body. Although it cannot increase the nerve conduction speed, and it is not as effective as lightning-style chakra mode in enhancing cell activity, flames are more stable than lightning, so fire-style chakra mode is easier to master than lightning-style chakra mode, with the defects of fire-style chakra mode being complemented and perfected one by one. The infinity symbol in the right eye also rotated 180 degrees counterclockwise and returned to its original shape. Game over. Beijuan has also thoroughly mastered the fire-style chakra mode. With a thought, he saw red flames suddenly bursting out from Beijuan's body. Ho, ho! Crimson flames rose up, and the surrounding temperature rose rapidly amidst the heat waves. The flames dispelled the darkness, and Beijuan saw himself in the mirror. Advertisement. With a tall and straight figure, exquisite facial features, scarlet Mangekyō ring, and a flaming red flame coat, it seems like a god bathed in flames. The corners of the mouth rose slightly, and under Beijuan's control, a flame broke away from the flame coat like a dragon snake, circling and flying around Beijuan, extremely fast and agile. This is the perfect fire-style chakra mode. Using Akaya-style swordsmanship in the state of fire chakra mode is enough for me to have cage-level combat power. It's almost a year and a half away from Genocide Night, and this long time will definitely allow me to use this pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan to gain power beyond cage level. Who can stop me then? Beijuan's smile became brighter, and there was strong anticipation in his eyes. The highly educated Beijuan is well aware of the power of science. After time travel, Beijuan never stopped learning. The more he understands ninja-related knowledge, chakra and ninjutsu, the more Beijuan learns the importance of knowledge, and the more confident he is in gaining powerful power through knowledge. Beijuan has gained a lot in these years, and this pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan is Beijuan's biggest achievement so far. And the fire-style chakra mode is just one of Beijuan's many scientific research projects, or a part of the strengthening plan. Beijuan has a very detailed plan for how he should become stronger, how to master the power beyond the cage level, and even the power of the six paths level. In Beijuan's plan, after obtaining this pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan with strong learning ability and deduction ability, many of his scientific research projects can achieve leap-forward breakthroughs. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29 to May 3. Chapter 2 Ichi and Shizui, compete and learn. That night, beside Minamigagawa, Shizui and Ichi are talking. As for the content of the conversation, it is naturally Akaya's coup. Akaya's relationship with Konoha is not simple. The Senju family and the Akaya family are feuds, and there were countless wars before the establishment of Konoha. Even if Senju Hashirama and Akaya Madara join forces to end Sengoku, it cannot completely eliminate the hatred accumulated by Senju and Akaya generations. Second Hokage Senju Dobirama is full of hatred and prejudice against the Akaya family, and through a large number of scientific research and experiments, he is also convinced of his point of view. The Akaya family is an inherently evil family. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is a disciple of second generation, Shimura Danzei-ring, the leader of the Root, and Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura, the advanced advisors, are also more or less influenced by Tobirama's thought, which has also caused the Akaya family to suffer unfair treatment repeatedly. Akaya Fugaku, the patriarch of the Akaya clan, preferred to maintain a delicate balance with the high-level Konoha at the beginning. In order to avoid suspicion, Fugaku has been hiding the Mangekyō ring Sharingan who can control the tailed beast from everyone. It's just that even if Fugaku doesn't want to go to war with Konoha, he still can't stand Danzo's behavior of repeatedly breaking the bottom line. Finally, Fugaku planned the bloodless revolution and ordered Ichi, who was serving in Anbu, to be Akaya's undercover agent. When the plan is in progress, Ichi will cooperate with Akaya's people inside and outside, and use Sharingan's powerful illusion to control the high-level Konoha in one fell swoop, so as to break the predicament and control the situation. At this time, Fugaku and Akaya still consider themselves members of Konoha village. Even if they are forced to make a revolution, they don't want Konoha to experience another bloody massacre. Therefore, the essence of the bloodless revolution, on the one hand, is to achieve the goal at the least cost, and on the other hand, to avoid killing Konoha's senior management and other people as much as possible. It's a pity that Akaya Ichi, who has been brainwashed by Sarutobi Hiruzen with the will of fire, is impossible to help him carry out the bloodless revolution. Advertisement. So after Ichi showed a traitor posture, Fugaku ordered Shizue to monitor Ichi. However, Shizue and Ichi have a very good relationship. They are also teachers and friends. Both of them want to prevent the coup of the Akaya clan, so the two often discuss in this secret base that belongs to them alone, trying to come up with a solution to the problem. Method. Only, how could these two idiots who were severely brainwashed by the will of fire come up with a solution? Thinking of what the two of them had done, a gleam of contempt flashed across Beijuan's eyes. Who? As if feeling something, Akaya Shizue suddenly turned around, feeling a little worried in his heart. Is this secret base exposed? Then his relationship and plan with Ichi will also be exposed? Seeing Shizue's reaction, Ichi's reaction was also quite fast, entering a fighting stance almost instantly. It's just that when Ichi saw Beijuan, who didn't hide himself, his eyes couldn't help showing a bit of surprise. It was Beijuan. Although Beijuan wanted to keep a low profile, his outstanding appearance still attracted many people's attention. In addition, Beijuan's behavior is indeed different, so there are very few people in Konoha who don't know Beijuan, and Shizue and Ichi naturally also know Beijuan. Seeing Beijuan, Shizue and Ichi's expressions calmed down a lot. Although they still felt a little puzzled, they didn't feel that Beijuan was a threat to them. The big deal is to use illusion to control Beijuan, so that he can prevent himself from being exposed. The two looked at each other, understood each other's thoughts almost instantly, and completed the communication. This is the tacit understanding between the two. Advertisement. After a slight pause, Shizue asked directly, Beijuan, why are you here? Of course I came to see you. Beijuan's slightly playful tone also made the expressions of Shizue and Ichi suddenly change, becoming serious and cautious. What are you looking for us for? Watching Beijuan vigilantly, Shizue's voice was a bit harsher. However, Beijuan still had that calm and breezy attitude. Why so serious? Relax, I just want to compete with the two of you. While talking, Beijuan pulled out a tang knife. Whether it's Shizue or Ichi, seeing Beijuan's posture, they are full of doubts. They never imagined that Beijuan, who was like a scholar in the past, actually had this face, which was hidden too deeply. Obviously he wasn't even a ninja. So who is he? What purpose does he have? Why did he know this place? Why do you want to compete with yourself? Countless doubts arise, but no answer can be thought of. A sense of unknown fear arises spontaneously. It's just that both of them are excellent ninjas, so naturally they won't be afraid of enemies or fighting. After looking at each other again, the two decided to defeat Beijuan first, and then control and torture. Therefore, in the next moment, Ichi's figure suddenly disappeared in place, while Shizue formed a mudra with one hand and pulled out the ninja sword with the other. Advertisement. But in an instant, Ichi's figure disappeared into the shadows, while Shizue's figure was divided into three, rushing towards Beijuan from three directions. However, in the next instant, a scarlet light suddenly appeared in Beijuan's eyes. The crimson flame also burst out from Beijuan's body in an instant, tumbling and rising, turning into a blazing flame coat. The flames spread and entangled the tang knife in Beijuan's hand. What? This is Mangekyō ring. Beijuan actually has a pair of Mangekyō ring, and this fire style. It's amazing how the fire style has been transformed. This Beijuan is actually hidden so deep. The indescribable sense of crisis also made Shizue nervous. He who also owns Mangekyō ring knows how powerful Mangekyō ring is. As for Ichi hiding in the shadows, although Mangekyō ring hasn't been activated yet, he knows about Mangekyō ring's existence and can clearly feel the power of Mangekyō ring. The majestic pupil power gave him an unprecedented sense of oppression. As a Akaya who is good at fire style, Ichi can also clearly distinguish how powerful Beijuan's fire-style chakra mode is, which also makes Ichi's expression more serious. With the infinity symbol in his left eye turning 180 degrees clockwise, Beijuan, who started learning pupil technique and entered the learning state, also instantly understood Shijui's specialty, phantom body flicker technique. Phantom body flicker technique allows Shijui to create multiple phantoms, which can attack opponents together with Shijui's body, and Shijui's phantoms will not disappear after being attacked. Shijui also became famous in the ninja world with the phantom body flicker technique, and won the title of Shijui. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29 to May 3. Chapter 3 Rolling and Copying. Sure enough, as I guessed, phantom body flicker technique is a perfect combination of illusion, shadow clone technique, and body flicker technique. And the effect of learning the pupil technique is similar to what I understand. It allows me to learn the opponent's technique in battle. Although Sharingan already has the ability to see and copy, it can see into the flow of chakra and copy some body skills and non-blood succession limit ninjutsu. However, Sharingan's original insight and copying abilities are obviously limited, and the physical skills and non-blood succession limit ninjutsu that can be copied are also very limited. The effect of Beijuan's learning pupil technique is similar to Sharingan's insight and copy function, but far stronger than Sharingan's own insight and copy function. Relying on learning pupil technique, Beijuan can clearly observe any subtle changes in chakra, so as to gain insight into the operating principles of all ninjutsu, so as to memorize and learn. Beijuan can easily learn even a secret technique like the phantom body flicker technique by learning the pupil technique. But in a blink of an eye, the three Shijui came to Beijuan's surroundings, surrounded Beijuan, and immediately raised their hands to perform Uchiha-style swordsmanship. Jian Yuan. Fierce flames gushed out from the ninja knife, and the flames roared out like a knife, setting off a billowing heat wave. Facing Shijui's attack, Beijuan's posture was still so indifferent. The flame coat created by fire-style chakra mode is best at defending against flames. Shijui's attack seemed powerful, but it couldn't hurt Beijuan at all. The crimson flames on Beijuan's body surged suddenly, and 3 crimson flames grew out like a dragon snake, entangled Shijui's 3 sword-leaping flames in an instant, assimilating them. Ho, ho! The fire of the flame coat is intensifying. It can still devour flames. Seeing this scene, Shijui couldn't help but frown. Since the flame coat on Beijuan's body can devour flames, he can't use fire style, which he is very good at. Advertisement. Ad. Moreover, Beijuan also activated Mangekyō ring, and his Mangekyō ring could also feel the majestic and vast pupil power, which also made Shijui understand that the illusion that he is best at should not be effective. That being the case, it seems that all he can do is rely on the phantom body flicker technique to deal with Beijuan. If Beijuan can be exposed, he believes Ichi will definitely seize the opportunity. Just as Shijui understands Ichi very well, Ichi understands Shijui very well. Seeing that the flame coat on Beijuan's body could actually devour the flames, Ichi silently took out his shuriken. Fire style doesn't work, illusion doesn't work. His speed is not as good as Shijui's, but his shuriken throwing technique is worse than Shijui's. After all, ninjas are still flesh and blood. As long as they seize the opportunity, shuriken can naturally kill people. Shijui, your Uchiha-style fencing skills are good, but only good. Now let me show you my Uchiha-style swordsmanship. As the words fell, Beijuan's arm also waved suddenly. The common people couldn't find Shijui's body, but how could Beijuan, who owns Mangekyō ring, not be able to find it? The same as Jian Yuan. The flame blade cut by Shijui is only about 10 meters long. The flame blade that Beijuan cut out was a full 30 meters long, and it was faster and hotter. Call. The blazing flame blade whizzed out, and the scalding heat wave not only caused the surrounding temperature to rise rapidly, but also left scorched black marks on the ground. Facing such a terrifying flaming blade, Shijui's pupils shrank into needles in an instant. How did Beijuan find his identity? How could his Uchiha-style swordsmanship be so terrifying? Advertisement. Ad. This speed is too fast. Gritting teeth, forming seals, and with the consumption of a large amount of chakra, more than 20 phantoms were created by Shijui. Half of the phantoms are used to resist the flame blade to delay a little time, and the other half of the phantoms quickly build a human ladder, allowing Shizue to escape the range of the flame blade by climbing the human ladder. However, just as Shizue dodged the flaming blade, Beijuan's arm waved again lightly. It was still the sword jumping over the flames, and the second flame blade was cut out again. Karma. The appearance of several crows also made Shizue's eyes light up suddenly, and he knew that Ichi was helping him. Stepping on the crow's body to borrow strength, after avoiding the second flame blade, Shizue made a seal again, creating a total of 30 phantoms. Then, 31 Shizue approached Beijuan as if teleporting. There is no need to use Akaya-style swordsmanship. Ninja swords are inherently deadly weapons. Innocent. There was a gleam of playfulness in his eyes. Beijuan held the tang knife in his right hand, and his left hand suddenly formed a seal. The emergence of 31 phantoms also shocked Shizue and Ichi, and an indescribable sense of horror arose spontaneously. The two of them naturally knew what the 31 phantoms were. How can it be? He actually copied my phantom body flicker technique in battle. Is this his Mangekyō ring pupil art? Is that why he started the fight? When 31 phantoms confronted 31 Shizue, Beijuan's body had disappeared in place. Jian Yuan. Advertisement. The blazing flame blade flew into the shadows, and a group of crows flew away in panic. Exposed, in front of these eyes, I really have nowhere to escape. When the group of crows gathered together, the figure of Weasel also appeared in Beijuan's sight. He looked at Beijuan's Mangekyō ring Sharingan, and had the same guess as Shizue in his heart. Perhaps Beijuan's Mangekyō ring pupil technique is copying, and it is a powerful pupil technique that can be copied even by ninjutsu of the phantom body flicker technique level. Now that he possesses such a Mangekyō ring pupil technique, Beijuan naturally wants to fight various ninjas, so as to copy other people's ninjutsu in battle to make himself stronger. So the purpose of him finding himself with Shizue is to copy the ninjutsu of both of them. Whizzing. Although he was guessing Beijuan's purpose in his mind, Ichi's hand speed can be quite fast. 13 shurikens were thrown out at an extremely fast speed and at a very tricky angle. More importantly, these 13 shurikens are also connected with very thin chakra lines that are difficult to see with the naked eye. Using the chakra line, Ichi can change the flying trajectory of the shuriken and increase the hit rate of the shuriken. Ridiculous. Beijuan, who was wearing a flame coat, didn't care about the shuriken attack at all. With a wave of his hand, a flame blade roared out. Call. The 9 shurikens were melted by the flame blade in an instant. The other 4 had just approached Beijuan, and they were entangled by the tumbling and spreading flame coat, turning into molten iron between breaths. Facing the flame blade, Ichi's figure disappeared again, turning into dozens of crows and flying away. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 4 The Future and the Might Guy. Watching the crow clone technique again, Beijuan naturally learned it easily. Now that I have learned the phantom body flicker technique and the crow clone technique, it is time to end this battle. With a thought, the speed of the 32 Beijuan increased suddenly. The red flames intensified, and the surrounding temperature also became higher and higher. Ling Lai's Tang Dao stirred up the crimson flame, easily beheading and burning 30 Shizue's phantoms. There are also 2 Tang knives, which forced Shizue and Ichi together, and then easily tore the flesh and blood of the two, pierced through the shoulder blades of the two, and nailed the two to 2 tree trunks. Ichi has no power to fight back. If Shizue is going to activate Susanoo, maybe he can still struggle for a while. It's just that Beijuan can also impress Susanoo, so Shizue understands that he is not Beijuan's opponent. In addition, Beijuan didn't seem to want to kill him and Ichi, so Shizue didn't launch Susanoo after all, but gave up resistance. A conscious choice. Standing in front of the two, Beijuan's expression was still so relaxed and indifferent. Although both Shizue and Ichi have some brain problems, it is undeniable that they are penultimate talents. It would be too wasteful to kill them like this. So Beijuan has other arrangements for them. Shizue, if nothing else, Danzo will take your right eye in September, and you will throw yourself into the river. As Beijuan's voice fell, The expressions of both Shizui and Ichi changed suddenly. What does Beijuan's words mean? In September Danzo will take his right eye and throw himself into the river? Advertisement. Ad, but it's only January now. Could it be? Can Beijuan's Mangekyō ring pupil technique see the future? Although Shizui thinks this guess is too surprising, but think of distinguished heavenly gods. The Mangekyō ring pupil technique that can quietly control the minds of others. It seems that Beijuan's Mangekyō ring pupil technique can predict the future does not seem to be an exaggeration. If so, what does such a future actually mean? Does it mean that you can't change anything after all? What Shizui can think of, Ichi can naturally think of too. If Shizui would throw himself into the river, what changes and decisions would he make? Konoha, Akaya, Hokage, Danzo, father, brother, don't look so heavy. Now that I know the future, I can naturally change the future. I just want to remind you, I hope you don't die so simply, it is too wasteful. While talking, Beijuan pulled out the two tang knives and put them away, then smiled, and finally turned and left. Looking at Beijuan's back, Shizui and Ichi felt indescribably complicated. Looking deeply at Beijuan's back, and remembering Beijuan's back in their hearts, the two looked at each other at the same time, and then began to help each other deal with the wound. On the other side, the departed Beijuan looked at the bright moon, thinking about the application of fire-style chakra mode, phantom body flicker technique, and crow-clone technique in his mind. Fire-style chakra mode is powerful, but not perfect. Advertisement. Both attack and defense are outstanding, but the speed is a bit slower. And phantom body flicker technique can undoubtedly make up for the lack of speed of fire-style chakra mode. As for the crow-clone technique, it is a very excellent and practical ninjutsu, with a very strong life-saving ability. After obtaining the phantom body flicker technique and the crow-clone technique, Beijuan planned to use the pupil technique deduction to integrate these two techniques into the fire-style chakra mode. After certain modification and optimization, it becomes the Fire-style Chakra Mode series ninjutsu. Lightning-style Chakra Mode has Lei Shun body technique. After integrating Phantom body flicker technique into Fire-style Chakra Mode, it can be modified and optimized into Phantom Fire body flicker technique. As for the Crow Clone technique, after integrating into the Fire-style Chakra Mode, you can also replace the Crow with Fire, modify and optimize it to become the Fire Clone technique. Combined with the Akaya style of swordsmanship, my combat skills are already very comprehensive and powerful, with almost no shortcomings. Thinking of this, Beijuan's eyes showed a little satisfaction. After returning to the secret room at home, Beijuan directly opened the Mangekyō ring. Pupil technique, deduction. The symbol representing infinity suddenly rotates 180 degrees clockwise. A large amount of knowledge is then continuously arranged and combined in the brain, bringing forth a new. But between breaths, the deduction is over, and the Phantom body flicker technique and Crow clone technique are also optimized into Phantom fire body flicker technique and Fire clone technique. As the infinity symbol turned 180 degrees counterclockwise, Beijuan's eyes narrowed accordingly. The effect of the pupil technique is very powerful, and the consumption is very small. It's just that my eyes are Mangekyō ring Sharingan after all, not eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. Although according to my plan, I can definitely evolve Mangekyō ring Sharingan into eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan before going blind, but I still don't want to gradually deepen the power of the eyes. It's not a good feeling to be nearsighted. There was a faint light in his eyes, and Beijuan also made a decision in his heart. Although the plan he specified was very strict, Beijuan was very clear about one thing, that is, the plan could not keep up with the changes. Advertisement. Therefore, one's own plan can be rigorous or flexible, and the most outstanding thing is to adapt to the situation. Looking at the time, it's not too early now. I have to get up early tomorrow, so I'll wash up and go to bed. The next day, when Beijuan came to Senlin, a figure of green appeared in Beijuan's eyes. Kappa head, thick eyebrows, resolute facial features. This is naturally Konoha's proud blue beast, the Might Guy who holds the power of 8 inner gates. Just as Might Guy was running, the strong wind also knocked down the weeds and bushes. Although this speed has not reached the speed of sound, it is not much worse. And Beijuan knew that there was a weight of at least 1,000 kgs on Might Guy's body. If all the weight is removed, with the power of chakra, Might Guy can definitely explode at a speed comparable to the speed of sound. If 8 inner gates is turned on, the speed is more difficult to calculate. After all, Yigai, the ultimate move that can only be activated by opening the door of death, has the power to distort space. Seeing the Might Guy moving at high speed, Beijuan immediately launched the Fandom Fire Body Flicker technique. Wisps of flames suddenly burst out from Beijuan's body, making Beijuan seem to have turned into a mass of red flames. Red's flame moves at high speed like a teleportation, like a fandom of red. But in a blink of an eye, Beijuan appeared beside Might Guy. Seeing the red figure suddenly appearing beside him, Might Guy was taken aback for a moment, and then said enthusiastically loudly, "Are you from the Akaya clan? I don't think I've seen you before. Are you a Konoha ninja? Do you want to train with me?" Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 5 Might Guy takes off his weight. I am a Akaya called Akaya Beijuan, but I am not a Konoha shinobi. It's not that I want to practice cultivation with you, but I want to compete with you and experience the power of the 8 inner gates. By the way. As Beijuan's words reached Might Guy's ears, Might Guy's expression also changed suddenly. He stopped and looked at Beijuan. You are Akaya, why not Konoha's ninja? You want to learn from each other, and you want to see the power of the 8 inner gates. Sounds suspicious. Now that Might Guy stopped, Beijuan naturally stopped too, with a calm expression on his face, and replied, "What's suspicious? My parents left me a rich legacy, and I don't need to do missions to make money, and I don't like killing, so why should I become Konoha's ninja? As for why I want to compete with you, and also want to see the power of 8 inner gates, it is naturally because I know the deeds of your father, Might Guy. The power of the 8 inner gates was able to defeat the famous ninja Sword 7 from the front, and even killed 4 of them. Such a powerful force. Do I want to experience something abnormal?" Hearing Beijuan's reply, Might Guy thought for a while, and there seemed to be no problem with such a reason. Moreover, Beijuan seemed to be upright, just to exchange ideas. Could he have something to lose? Yuma broken bar. It seems to be okay. After hearing Might Guy's reply, the corner of Beijuan's mouth twitched slightly. In that case, I'm going to go. As soon as it fell, Beijuan suddenly activated the fire-style chakra mode. Ho ho! The red flame burst out in an instant, wrapping Beijuan around and weaving it into a flame coat. Using the Fandom Fire Body Flicker technique, Beijuan directly turned into a red flame phantom, came to Might Guy in the next moment, and then punched out. Advertisement. Crimson flames enveloped his whole body, and his fist was no exception. The scalding heat wave blowing on Might Guy's face also made Might Guy's eyes flash with wonder and excitement. He marveled at Beijuan's speed and attack. Also excited because of Beijuan's strength. He, Might Guy, Konoha's proud blue beast, likes to fight. Eager for an even-handed opponent. The body reacted quickly and slanted, and after avoiding Beijuan's punch, Blue's chakra fluorescence suddenly burst out from his right foot. Konoha Vajra Power Whirlwind. But in a split second, Blue's chakra kicked with a swift roundhouse kick. Although the Might Guy is fast, the strength is also very strong. The physical skills that have been cultivated through thousands of years of practice are even more incomparably sharp. But Might Guy is just a civilian ninja after all. And Beijuan is a Akaya. How could Might Guy be Beijuan's opponent without using 8 inner gates? Not to mention the current Might Guy still wears weights. Beijuan, who mastered the Fandom Fire Body Flicker technique and preemptive strikes, was naturally faster than Might Guy. Before Might Guy used Leaf Strong Whirlwind, Beijuan kicked Might Guy hard in the abdomen, and kicked him flying. Boom! I kicked the steel, and sure enough, Might Guy has a weight on his stomach. Might Guy flew upside down like a cannonball. It stopped after breaking 2 big trees. After both feet landed, Might Guy looked at Beijuan with a serious and excited expression. I didn't expect that Beijuan, a physical master like you, was hidden in the village. Advertisement. Might Guy is also experienced in many battles. Although he is not the top ninja powerhouse, he has never encountered an enemy that can be crushed. Especially in terms of physical skills, he can crush his enemies. Although he also knows that there are many strong ninjas, there are many ninjas who are stronger than him without using the Gate of Death. However, among these ninjas who are stronger than him, who can crush him in physical skills, maybe 4th Raikage is one, but who else but 4th Raikage? He does not know. But thinking about 4th Raikage, Might Guy also found a little bit. Beijuan, who is wearing a flame coat, Looks like Fourth Reikage with lightning-style chakra mode turned on. Could it be that Beijuan developed the fire-style chakra mode by himself? Can develop such a secret technique? Is this Beijuan also a genius comparable to Kakashi? Even Beijuan's talent is more outstanding than Kakashi, because no matter how you look at it, this suspected fire-style chakra mode technique is more complex and powerful than Chidori and Rakiri. And there is one more important point. Although he often challenges Kakashi, and Kakashi has defeated him many times, Kakashi did not win him with taijutsu. In terms of body skills alone, Might Guy is much better than Kakashi. So Might Guy has always wanted to have a real man's gymnastics duel with a master of gymnastics. It's not an all-out battle between ninjas. Besides, Might Guy doesn't think he is a genius, but he is eager to defeat geniuses. Beijuan is not only a genius, but also a master of gymnastics. How can Might Guy not be serious? How can he not be excited? Advertisement. Ad, this is really exciting, I said. Beijuan, should we only use physical skills in this exchange? Hearing Might Guy's words, Beijuan smiled. Might Guy, although in a normal state I can suppress you with physical skills, and even defeat you. But when you take off the weight, open the 8 inner gates, and only use physical skills, I am no match for you. However, I am confident that in the near future, I will be able to beat you in physical skills. At that time, we can have a battle using only physical skills. As Beijuan's words reached Might Guy's ears, although Might Guy was a little bit disappointed, there was also a bit of expectation on his face. Good. In that case, it's an appointment. In the not-too-distant future, we will only use physical skills to fight and see who wins. A strange color flashed in Beijuan's eyes, and Beijuan nodded lightly. Okay, no problem, it's a deal. It's a deal. After replying to Beijuan, Might Guy also became serious. He wanted to take this sparring seriously, so he took off the weight directly. Boom. A huge pit suddenly appeared on the ground, and dense cracks spread rapidly in all directions. Might Guy's burden is naturally heavier than the burden on Zhao Li in the future. The pit created by throwing it on the ground is naturally bigger and deeper than the pit created by Zhao Li in the Chunin exam. Beijuan, I'm going to go. After a sound fell, Might Guy disappeared in place like an instant. Beijuan, who didn't activate Mangekyō ring, couldn't capture Might Guy's figure at all. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 6 8 Inner Gates. Chapter 6th Gate. So fast. Is this the strength of Might Guy? Humans in this world can actually have such terrifying physical fitness through exercise and the power of chakra. Even if Might Guy is very talented, as a Akaya, my talent must be far superior to Might Guy. Since Might Guy can have such a physique, then I must also have it. There was a blazing heat in his eyes, and Beijuan opened the Mangekyō ring Sharingan calmly. After opening Mangekyō ring, Beijuan was naturally able to clearly capture the figure of Might Guy, and this was the power of Mangekyō ring. In this deformed world, only the power of Oetsutsuki stands above all others, and the power of Akaya is the power of Indra, the power of the Sage of Six Paths, and the power of Oetsutsuki. Without 8 inner gates, Beijuan would not have put Might Guy in his eyes at all, even if he has worked very hard to train and practice. In the next instant, Might Guy made another leaf-strong whirlwind. Powerful and fast roundabout kicks off Deep Blue's chakra. As I said, if you don't open the 8 inner gates, Might Guy, you are not my opponent. Beijuan hadn't finished his sentence when he kicked Might Guy's ribs even more swiftly and forcefully. Crack. Vaguely, Beijuan heard the sound of ribs cracking. Even if it didn't break directly, it was bound to be injured. Advertisement. Ad, it's just that Might Guy, who has long been used to the pain, is not the slightest bit strange. After quickly stabilizing his center of gravity, Might Guy looked into Beijuan's eyes with a surprised expression. What kind of eyes are these? Is this the Sharingan of the Akaya clan? As a close friend of Kakashi, Might Guy is naturally very familiar with Sharingan. Is Beijuan's Sharingan a more advanced Sharingan than 3 Tomoe Sharingan? Thinking of this, Might Guy suddenly thought of a taboo Namiya Akaya Madara. Although Konoha is quite taboo about this name, The name Uchiha-Madara is really too famous. Might Guy has naturally heard rumors about Uchiha-Madara. Just the 3 Tomoe Sharingan doesn't make Uchiha-Madara as powerful as the ninja god Senju Hashirama. The Sharingan of Uchiha-Madara in Legendary is the more advanced eyes beyond the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Although he, Might Guy, doesn't know what this eye is called, he also knows that it is comparable to the wood-style eye in Legendary. Could it be that Beijuan has the strength comparable to Uchiha-Madara? Thinking of this, Might Guy couldn't help being startled. But this is just his guess, and he is now competing with Beijuan. Just how strong Beijuan is, can you tell if you have beaten him? Since you are fighting, you can't think about it, you have to concentrate, and you have to take this battle seriously. Thinking of this, Might Guy straightened his face and showed a serious expression. Advertisement. Since this is the case, then I will open the 8 inner gates as you wish. It's just that 8 inner gates is a forbidden technique, Beijuan, you have to be careful. Of course I know. Quickly open the 8 inner gates. Might Guy. Good. Just when Might Guy was about to open the 8 inner gates, Beijuan also silently started learning the pupil technique. The infinity symbol in the left eye suddenly rotated 180 degrees clockwise. Might Guy, who was very concerned about Beijuan's eyes, naturally also noticed the change in Beijuan's left eye, but he didn't say anything, but silently mobilized the chakra in his body. This particular way of chakra flowing, is this the mystery of the 8 inner gates? In the learning state, Beijuan can clearly observe all the subtle changes of chakra in Might Guy's body, which also allows Beijuan to gain insight into the mysteries of the 8 inner gates. Although Beijuan knows part of the principle of 8 inner gates, he knows that 8 inner gates is a move that lifts the body's restriction on chakra and releases excess energy. In the chakra-flowing meridian system, the places that restrain and control the chakra in the body are the 8 gates of opening gate, rest gate, life gate, injury gate, do gate, scene gate, shock gate and death gate. This 8 gate will set a limit on the amount of chakra in the body, but this technique can force chakra to exceed this limit, thereby drawing out its own strength that is dozens of times stronger. However, while gaining power, the caster himself will suffer damage, so this technique is listed as one of the forbidden techniques. In the body of a ninja, there is not only the meridian system, but also the 8 gate. 8 inner gates is the development and application of 8 gates for the human body. This also means that chakra has a huge impact on the human body, and there is indeed an amazing potential hidden in the human body. Since the development of the 8 gate of the human body can excavate the powerful hidden power of the human body. So what kind of ninjutsu can be created by developing the meridian system? What kind of power can be unearthed? Advertisement. The research on the human body in this world is still relatively shallow. The human body may not only have the meridian system and the 8 gate, but may also have the upper, middle and lower danshans, the orifices of the whole body, and even the 7 chakras of the human body's central axis. If I can use chakra to unearth all the potential hidden in the human body, it will definitely enable me to gain a powerful force beyond cage level, and even beyond 6 paths. These thoughts just flashed in Beijuan's mind. At this moment, Beijuan is engrossed in observing the mystery of the 8 inner gates. Although 8 inner gates is very powerful, Beijuan doesn't think 8 inner gates is perfect. In Beijuan's view, all ninjutsu has the potential for continuous optimization and upgrading, and 8 inner gates is no exception. And in this world, there is a rebel named Shennon, who transformed himself through the medical forbidden technique, so that he could open the 8 inner gates formation without dying. That being the case, as long as we continue to optimize and upgrade the 8 inner gates, can we permanently open the 8 gates of the human body, so as to fully grasp the power of the 8 inner gates formation? If the theory is feasible, then it can be practiced. Beijuan, who has the ability to deduce pupils, has the confidence to do this. Open the door, shut the door, Shengman, hurt the door, Duman, Jingman, open. Facing such a powerful Beijuan, who was even suspected to be comparable to Uchiha-Madara, Might Guy didn't dare to push himself, and opened the 6th gate in one go. Green chakra radiance enveloped Might Guy for a split second. In the Jingman state, Might Guy not only obtained an extremely terrifying boost, but was also able to use the terrifying move of facing the peacock. Flames are generated by hitting high-speed positive fists and air friction, and use the shock waves and flames formed by hitting the air to deal continuous blows to the opponent. Its power is strong and its temperature is high enough to evaporate a small lake. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 7 Defeat Jingmen Might Guy. Call. The Might Guy in the normal state and the Might Guy in the 8 inner gates state are simply two people. The Might Guy who opened the 6th gate of the 8 inner gates, just by moving at a high speed can set off strong winds, sweep dust and smoke, and leave marks on the ground. This should have been infinitely close to the speed of sound. Since the speed of movement can be infinitely close to the speed of sound. What about attack speed? The speed of punching and kicking must have surpassed the speed of sound. Boom. Leaf hurricane. The sound barrier was torn, the air was disturbed, and there was a roar, and green chakra set off a whirlwind, and the sound was extremely terrifying. Even before kicking Beijuan, the strong wind already made Beijuan feel a little oppressed. His eyes narrowed slightly. Although the speed was not as fast as Might Guy, but with Mangekyō Ring Sharingan's powerful dynamic strength, it was not impossible to learn physical skills with Might Guy in Jingmen state. At the next moment, Beijuan kicked out to intercept Might Guy's leaf hurricane. Snapped. The sound of collision suddenly sounded, and the strong interaction made Beijuan tremble uncontrollably. It's better not to head with the Might Guy in Jingmen state with physical skills worthy of Might Guy. This tempered body like steel is a perfect match for 8 inner gates. It's really too strong. Certainly, although Might Guy is very strong, what Beijuan is best at has never been physical skills. It's normal for physical skills to be inferior to Might Guy. Facing a ninja like Might Guy who is only good at martial arts, it is not that difficult for Beijuan to defeat him. It's just that Beijuan wanted to observe more about the mysteries of the 8 inner gates. So, advertisement. Add the blow just now was just the beginning. In the next moment, the two of them seemed to have turned into a phantom. The body was moving at high speed, and the hands and feet did not stop. Physical skills poured out towards the opponent like a violent storm, fast and precise. This also makes Might Guy more and more excited. It's too strong, Beijuan. I've never met an opponent as strong as you, who can compete with me in Jingmen state evenly. Crack. Bang. The collisions set off waves of air, the sound barrier was torn, the air was ignited, heat waves rolled up, and dust and smoke scattered and fled. 8 inner gates really lives up to its reputation. It really is very powerful. Might Guy, you are worthy of being Konoha's proud blue beast. You have a body that has been tempered for thousands of years, and physical skills that have been tempered for thousands of years. You are fast and precise. With the dynamic strength of Sharingan, I can compete with you in a short period of time. But my physique is not as good as yours, so I probably won't last long. At that time, I have to use ninjutsu. Listening to Beijuan's reply, although Might Guy was a little disappointed, he could understand. In this punch-to-fist, foot-to-foot gymnastics competition, he only felt that his blood was boiling. This is the feeling of youth. He really enjoys this feeling. It's okay, come on, since it's a battle, you have to do your best. Beijuan, I approve of you, come and defeat me. Seeing Might Guy's passionate reaction, Beijuan couldn't help but raised the corner of his mouth and smiled slightly. Okay. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes. During these 7 minutes, Beijuan had already fully understood the mystery of the 8 inner gates. Even though Might Guy only used the 6th gate, Beijuan knew that the rest of the gates of shock and death were in the lower abdomen and heart. Advertisement. Once you understand the principle, you will naturally know how to open it. So, it's time to end the fight. Guy, I'm going to use ninjutsu. Good. With a sound of falling, the moment Might Guy kicked Beijuan, Beijuan's figure suddenly turned into a ball of flames and scattered in all directions. Then, boom. The flames exploded suddenly, the crimson flames flourished, billowing smoke rose, and the powerful shock wave directly lifted Might Guy into the air. When Beijuan's figure reappeared, there was also a tang knife in Beijuan's hand. Jian Yuan. The 30-meter flame blade whizzed out, extremely fast and extremely hot. Faced with such a large-scale terrorist attack, Might Guy can no longer avoid it and can only confront it head-on. Then, not surprisingly, he used that move towards the peacock. The fists turned into phantoms in an instant. The fists that surpassed the speed of sound tore through the sound barrier, the high temperature generated by the friction ignited the air, and the blazing flames wrapped and enveloped Might Guy's whole body. With the power of chakra, Every punch from Might Guy is capable of producing a fist-sized fireball. But in an instant, hundreds of fireballs bombed out overwhelmingly. Even if Beijuan's Jianyuan is very powerful, he can't resist the move towards the peacock. The dense fireballs submerged the flame blade, and then continued to bombard Beijuan. Seeing this, Beijuan's eyes narrowed slightly, and his left hand formed a seal. The figure became blurred in an instant, and then split into 32 fandom fire clones with fire-style chakra mode turned on. A flaming blade is incomparable against the peacock, but what about 99? Dance of the Halo. 33 tang knives were swung, and the light of the knives stirred the flames. Advertisement. At each Beijuan slashed 3 times in a row, producing 3 flaming blades. 99 30-meter-long flame blades were cut out by Beijuan within a second. What kind of scene is this? Gorgeous, gorgeous, spectacular. In an instant, 99 flame blades faced the overwhelming fireball. This is a contest of fire and fire. Even though the distance was close to 100 meters, Beijuan could still feel the terrifying high temperature and scalding heat wave. The halo dance poured down like a huge wave. No matter how gorgeous Might Guy opened his tail towards the peacock, he still couldn't resist it. In just one breath, Peacock's slash was torn apart by the dance of the sun's halo. Might Guy, who was suspended in midair, was also unable to dodge, and was directly knocked into the air by a flaming blade. Fortunately, in the Jingmen state, chakra will wrap Might Guy in the form of green brilliance, forming a layer of protection. Otherwise Might Guy would probably die. Certainly, even so, Might Guy was still seriously injured. Seeing Might Guy fall to the ground and even roll a few times, Beijuan also let out a breath of foul air slowly. 32 fandom fire clones turned into nothingness in an instant. The red flame coat was also extinguished, learning the pupil technique was closed, and Mangekyō ring returned to normal. Slowly putting Tang Dao back into the scabbard, Beijuan walked towards Might Guy unhurriedly. Coughing. Might Guy got up in embarrassment. Although the injury was serious this time, Might Guy, who was already used to the pain, didn't care. Instead, he showed his big white fang, and gave Beijuan a thumbs up. You did well. I lost this battle. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 8. Permanently open the first gate of the 8 inner gates. Seeing Might Guy in this appearance, Beijuan couldn't help showing a smile. Beijuan likes people like Might Guy. Go to the hospital to heal your injuries, and then practice hard. I look forward to seeing the power of shocking doors and even death doors in the future. Hearing Beijuan's words, Might Guy nodded first, and then his face straightened. I will work hard to cultivate, and you will see the power of shocking the door. It's just that the power of the Gate of Death is not as simple as you imagine. I don't know how powerful I will be after using that move, but I know that I will die after using that move. Beijuan, who knows the future, naturally knows the power of the Gate of Death, and even more knows that Might Guy will not die. Maybe you won't die for opening the Gate of Death? As Beijuan's words came into Might Guy's ears, Might Guy couldn't help being slightly taken aback. He looked at Beijuan puzzled, and his heart was full of doubts. You will know in the future. Go to the hospital quickly. I will go first. Beijuan will not tell Might Guy what is in his heart. With one last word, he waved and left. Only Might Guy was left standing there, looking at Beijuan's back. His brows were tightly furrowed. This Beijuan is so mysterious. Those eyes, and that last sentence. I can't figure it out. It's really a headache. Advertisement. And if you don't understand it, don't think about it. Might Guy has never been a person who likes to use his brain. Walk slowly to the hospital. Continue to practice after recovery. Maybe when I see Kakashi, my best friend, I will tell Kakashi about Beijuan. Then Sarutobi Hiruzen will know Beijuan. Certainly, Beijuan didn't care. Back in the secret room at home, Beijuan looked at the anatomical diagram of the human body with a thoughtful expression. The meridian system, the 8th gate of the human body. The human body has restrictions on chakra, or the human body cannot withstand too powerful chakra, so a body self-protection system has been formed. This system is the 8th gate system. That is to say, as long as the human body's carrying capacity for chakra is strengthened, the 8th gate system will be useless, and ninjas can also permanently master the power of the 8 inner gates formation. Beizhuan naturally has a certain understanding of how to strengthen the body's carrying capacity for chakra. Even fire-style chakra mode can slightly strengthen the body's carrying capacity for chakra, especially strengthen the carrying capacity of the human body for fire-style chakra. In this case, I may be able to integrate 8 inner gates and fire-style chakra mode, and use the pupil technique to deduce the technology that can strengthen the carrying capacity of the human body's chakra. As long as the human body's ability to carry chakra reaches the threshold, it should be able to permanently open the 8 inner gates. Certainly, it's opening one door at a time. I can permanently open the first door of the 8 inner gates, and then continue to deduce and practice, so as to open the door behind. Advertisement. After figuring it out, Beizhuan activated Mangekyō ring, pupil technique deduction, open. The right eye suddenly turned 180 degrees clockwise. A large amount of knowledge then emerged in the mind, and then quickly arranged and combined to bring forth the new. But between breaths, part of the knowledge of fire-style chakra mode was combined with part of the knowledge of 8 inner gates, and other knowledge about the human body and chakra was absorbed, and finally the knowledge Beizhuan wanted was born. That is the knowledge of how to strengthen the chakra carrying capacity of the human body to permanently open the first door of the 8 inner gates. And because of the inclusion of fire-style chakra mode content. So using this technology to permanently open the gate is more powerful than might guy using 8 inner gates to open the gate. Using the 8 inner gates to open the gate can produce the effect of releasing the limitation of the brain region to give full play to the body, and overloading the body to consume energy to improve physical fitness, especially strength and speed. The permanent door opening, combined with the fire-style chakra mode, not only has the full effect of the 8 inner gates door opening, but also strengthens Beizhuan's ability to control fire-style chakra. Although it has not been tested yet, Beizhuan feels that in that state, he can release all low-level fire-style ninjutsu without the need for seals. This made Beizhuan look forward to it very much, even a little bit impatiently. That being the case, what are you waiting for? After taking a deep breath, Beizhuan directly activated the fire-style chakra mode. But in an instant, all the chakra in the body is transformed into highly qualitative fire-style chakra. The fire-style chakra not only filled Beizhuan's body, but also covered the surface of Beizhuan's body in the form of a flame coat. After the surging flame coat stabilized, Beizhuan adjusted his state again, and then opened the first door of the 8 inner gates. Advertisement. Boom. When a large amount of fire-style chakra poured into his brain, Beizhuan only felt his brain shake suddenly, and then he became hot. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's not a big problem. The 8-gate system of the human body is not only a self-protection mechanism, but also has the function of energy storage. Otherwise, it only limits chakra. But it is impossible to obtain a huge chakra after opening the 8 inner gates. That is to say, after opening the 8 inner gates, you only need to use highly qualitative and highly condensed chakra to completely fill the room behind the door, and you can permanently open the 8 inner gates. And as long as the human body's ability to carry chakra reaches a certain threshold, it can perfectly withstand the side effects of opening the 8 inner gates. Use the principle of screw pressurization to fill the door with fire-style chakra, and in order to prevent the door from closing automatically, a chakra uzumaki is also constructed to continuously absorb and compress chakra. After reaching a dynamic equilibrium, the door is permanently opened. Beizhuan thinks so, and does so. Construct the auger with chakra to pour the fire-style chakra into the opening, then construct the chakra uzumaki device in the opening. This consumption rate. It seems that if you want to permanently open the first door of the 8 inner gates, you need to consume a lot of chakra. This chakra will take me at least 5 days to refine. Acceptable, not a big problem. In the next 5 days, Beizhuan naturally refined chakra wholeheartedly, pouring chakra into the opening door continuously, and compressing chakra with all his might. It's a terrifying increase. The opening of the door is located in the brain area. The brain area has been developed, and my brain power has naturally been slightly enhanced. This also greatly strengthens the brain's ability to control the body and chakra. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 9 Planning and Hinata. Sensing the subtle changes in himself, Beizhuan suddenly realized something. Chakra is the combination of physical energy and spiritual energy, and because of this, chakra can affect not only the mind, but also the body. And as the strength continues to grow stronger, in a sense, the talent will also become stronger. For example, in my current state, because the door is permanently opened, the brain has also been developed. Doesn't a stronger brain mean a stronger talent? As if inspired, many inspirations suddenly appeared in Beijuan's brain. While I know scientific research and utilizing chakra can make me stronger for more time, but at the beginning I focused on getting stronger, and ignored a very important point. Chakra is the extraordinary energy that can turn a common into a genius. While my Mangekyō ring has made me a genius, I feel like I can be even more so. 8 inner gates increase in physical strength made me ignore the first 2 gates of 8 inner gates. The opening and closing gates are located in the brain. Opening these 2 doors must have an impact on the brain, but it is still a benign impact. So I shouldn't pay too much attention to those powerful ninjutsu, but should pay more attention to those ninjutsu that have a benign impact on the human body. Thinking of this, many names of ninjutsu also popped up in Beijuan's mind. 100 Healings Mark, Lightning Style Chakra Mode, Kishin Calling, and so on. Sure enough, the plan couldn't keep up with the changes, and I don't know how many surprises chakra's extraordinary energy can bring me. Using scientific thinking to study chakra is really a conscious choice. After simply adjusting his future plans, Beijuan came to the forest after a rest. As for the purpose, it is natural to test the various data of itself in the state of permanently opening the door and superimposing fire-style chakra mode. And this form, Beijuan decided to call it fire-style chakra mode a diaresis sedilla diaresis. Advertisement. Ad boom. With a roar, red flames suddenly burst out from Beijuan's body, turning into a coat of flames, and because of the permanent opening of the door, Beijuan's brain, body, and chakra have been greatly enhanced, and the ability to control the body and chakra has been greatly increased. It was precisely because of this that the flame coat on Beijuan's body not only became thicker, but also became more stable in shape. Under Beijuan's control, the red flame coat is gradually turning into a set of thick and delicate full-body flame armor. Although there are no complicated patterns, it is also very beautiful. Perfect. After the flame armor condensed, Beijuan opened his palm again. A large number of fire-style chakra gathered in the palm of Beijuan's control. It was as if the flame was compressed into substance, and then turned into a flaming sword. With my current ability to control fire-style chakra, it is equivalent to me being able to control flames. Condensing flames into armor, condensing into blades, or condensing into forms. This ability is comparable to blood succession limit, and it allows me to unleash regular fire-style ninjutsu in Muji. In other words, I don't need to release conventional fire-style ninjutsu at all. I can directly manipulate the flame to simulate the effect of releasing fire-style ninjutsu. Even a broken bar, more powerful than what regular fire-style ninjutsu can produce. Just muttering in a low voice, Beijuan raised his head suddenly, and then swung hard. Jian Yuan. Advertisement. Ad flame Tang Dao cut out the blade of flame. Boom. The scarlet flame blade was a full 50 meters long, and its speed easily surpassed the speed of sound, tearing the sound barrier. Ho, ho. The heat wave was raging, and the high temperature directly dried and ignited the surrounding trees and leaves. But between breaths, a sea of AA flames was created. Too strong. Such power is simply crushing the price for common people. Even if there is an army in the cold weapon era in front of me, I can easily slaughter them to extinction. With such power, I can also go to the next step of the plan. The next day, Beijuan found Hinata, who had just finished school. When I was a child, Hinata has always been a person who lacked confidence and gave up easily, with a gentle and weak personality. Such a person is not suitable to be a ninja, and Hinata would not want to be a ninja if given the choice. However, she is the eldest daughter of the patriarch of the Hyuga clan. In the strictly disciplined Hyuga clan, Hinata's identity does not allow her not to become a ninja. In addition, Hinata's father is Hyuga Hayashi, a man with a strong sense of responsibility, who has very strict requirements on Hinata. And when Hinata was 3 years old, the ninja of Cloud Shiabai village sneaked into Konoha to try to abduct Hinata in order to get the white eyes of the Hyuga clan. As a result, the relationship between Cloud Shiabai and Konoha's 2 villages deteriorated, which indirectly triggered a war. In order to avoid the war, Konoha made a deal with Cloud Shiabai village. Cloud Shiabai proposed that Konoha hand over the body of Hinata's father Hayashi, and Konoha was forced to accept Cloud Shiabai's condition. Advertisement. The elders of the Hyuga clan offered to hand over the body of Branch House Hisashi as Hayashi's substitute. Hisashi told Hayashi before dying, "Please tell Neji that I was not killed to protect the clan, but to protect my big brother and the village." Just like that, Hisashi was killed as Hayashi's stand-in. His younger brother died because of Hinata, and Hayashi's requirements for Hinata naturally became stricter. And how can a weak character like Hinata satisfy Hayashi's request? So it stands to reason that Hayashi is disappointed with Hinata, who is also doing badly with Hyuga's family. Such a little girl lacks love the most, and is also the easiest to coax. Knowing all this, how could Beijuan not use this information? Rescue Hinata instead of Naruto, and chat with Hinata from time to time, plus some language inducements. The current Hinata is no longer the original Hinata. The current Hinata wants to break away from the Hyuga clan, and wants Beijuan to take her away from Konoha. And today, Beijuan took the white-eyed princess of the Hyuga clan away from Konoha. As for the reason, it is naturally that Hinata has a high-purity white eye. As long as it is combined with the chakra of the Oetsutsuki family, the white eye can evolve into a Tenseigan. Tenseigan has eyes comparable to Rinnegan's. You know, if Mangekyō Ring wants to evolve into Rinnegan, he needs to evolve into Eternal Eye before he can evolve into Rinnegan. In a sense, Rinnegan and Tenseigan are 2 levels higher than Beijuan's own Mangekyō Ring eyes. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 10 Danzo and Mangekyō Ring, Beijuan big brother, can you really take me away from Konoha tonight? It's not that Hinata doesn't trust Beijuan, on the contrary, it trusts Beijuan almost unconditionally. It's just that Hinata, who has a weak personality, was too nervous, so he couldn't help asking. To this, Beijuan just showed a gentle smile, and replied unhurriedly in a gentle voice, "Of course, Hinata, don't worry, I will definitely do what I promised you. I know Hinata you are nervous, but don't be afraid, with me, no one can hurt you, I will protect you." Saying this, Beijuan also gently stroked Hinata's little head to make him relax. Feeling the warmth and tenderness from Beijuan, Hinata also felt a strong sense of security, and her pure white eyes showed a bit of anticipation. She can finally leave the Hyuga clan and Konoha. She no longer needs to work hard to become a qualified ninja. She can finally have her own life and freedom. She can finally stay by Beijuan big brother's side forever. She stared blankly at Beijuan, enjoying Beijuan's warmth and tenderness, immersed in this incomparably wonderful time. Seeing Hinata in this appearance, Beijuan's eyes showed a bit of strangeness. Although Beijuan really wanted to take advantage of Hinata, he also really felt sorry for Hinata from the bottom of his heart. Through communicating with Hinata, Beijuan is very aware of Hinata's pressure and pain. The Hyuga clan, Konoha village, such an environment is simply not suitable for the gentle Hinata. Take Hinata away. I will not force Hinata to become a ninja. I will raise Hinata, give her freedom, and protect her safety. It's just that when needed, I will borrow the power of Baiyan and study this high-purity Baiyan. Advertisement. Hinata, take this sleeping pill, and when you wake up, I will take you away from Konoha. Without the slightest hesitation, Hinata obediently swallowed the sleeping pill. Beijuan was by Hinata's side, and when she was completely asleep, he put Hinata into a special box. Inside the box is soft fur, which will never make Hinata feel uncomfortable, but is very comfortable. The outside of the box is painted with a special paint by Beijuan, which can block the perspective of white eyes. Shadow clone technique. Fork a shadow clone and take Hinata. Beijuan's body turned its attention to the root base. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen failed to effectively continue the basic policy of second Hokage Amital Senjudo Bairama to govern the Uchiha clan after succeeding Hokage, Danzo was burdened with the darkness of the village. Danzo thus obtained the establishment of his own independent training department under the name of Anbu Training Department. Organization Root Rights. Root's team members are directly recruited by Danzo. Danzo chooses people with special abilities, people with darkness in their hearts, etc. The team members need to receive the training of ego elimination in order to keep secrets. They will also be imprinted with a spell. Danzo has thoroughly trained them into chess pieces that can fully perform their tasks. The so-called root person has no name and no feelings. There is no past and no future. There is only a mission in my heart, and what supports the big tree of Konoha village is the will of the root deeply rooted in the earth. The masks worn by the root's members are much more colorful than Hokage's direct and Buu masks, and aren't limited to imitating animal faces. Of course, Danzo's ambitions are too great to be met by a purely violent institution. Using the power of the roots, Danzo also recruited many researchers and collaborated with Orochimaru to obtain many scientific achievements, like wood style and Sharingan. Danzo's wood style is derived from the cells transplanted from first Hokage Hashirama, because the 11 Sharingan have extremely strong spiritual energy, so this technique is needed to increase the body energy to balance it. But because it is not a complete copy of first generation, its wood-style technique can only be displayed through the right arm, and Danzo himself will be involved in actual combat. Danzo will inevitably die if activated in a defenseless state. Advertisement. Add Sharingan and wood style have one yin and one yang. Akaya Madara transformed Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan into Rinnegan by transplanting Senju Hashirama's cells. It's an example of how wonderful wood style's relationship with Sharingan is. It can also be said that the relationship between yin and yang is very wonderful. The key to the evolution of Sharingan is hidden in wood style. So how can I not get Senju Hashirama's body by any means? Soon, Beijuan came to the location of the root base. Needless to say, fire-style chakra mode middle. Door, open. Red's flame armor condensed in an instant, and with the palm of his hand, the flame tang saber also condensed into shape. Jian Yuan. 50 meters of flame blades whizzed out. Enchantment? Iron Gate? It was cut off almost in an instant. Even the root ninja guarding the gate was split into two in an instant, and his body was engulfed in flames. In the root base, Danzo's expression changed suddenly after receiving the signal. The originally gloomy face became even uglier. Without saying anything, Danzo directly mobilized all root ninjas. Mystery A middle. Heart turn technique. Mystery. Insect Jade. Wind style vacuum sphere. A broken bar. A broken bar. A broken bar. Advertisement. I have to say that the root ninja's efficiency is really high, and the defense system of the base is also doing very well. Not long after that, dozens of root ninjas rushed over, and there are also a lot of talents among the root ninjas, the Ibrahim family, the Yamanaka family, the Shimura family, and so on. Unfortunately, both are too weak. Once Mangekyō Ring was opened, the Yamanaka family's secret arts had no effect on Beijuan. Instead, it was the Yamanaka clan's endurance that was backlashed by Mangekyō Ring, and he lost consciousness in an instant and fell to the ground. Although the Ibrahim family's insect secret technique is powerful, how can it resist Beijuan's sword-leaping flame? A flaming blade slashed out, and thousands of bugs were directly engulfed by the flames. As for ninjutsu such as wind style, fire style, and lightning style, it is not worth mentioning. A single flaming blade is enough to kill more than 10 enemies. The number of root ninjas is not large, and there are still a group of missions outside Konoha village. So how can the mere root base be able to withstand Beijuan? Even if Danzo comes, what can he do? Mangekyō Ring. The moment he saw Beijuan, Danzo was attracted by Beijuan's Mangekyō Ring. That's right, it's definitely Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Beyond 3 Tomoe Sharingan's Eye of Blood successor, and even Akaya Madara's eye. Damn. The Akaya clan actually gave birth to another pair of Mangekyō Ring. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 11. The third form A middle. Gold Susanoo. What's even worse is that this Akaya actually killed this root space. Is his target me? Thinking about what he had done, Danzo couldn't help feeling a little bit worried and fearful. It's just that as a ninja who has experienced many battles, he will not sit still. He looked at Beijuan, and quickly recalled Beijuan's message. An alternative of the Akaya clan, who does not pursue power, but instead pursues knowledge, has no parents, and is not a ninja. Akaya Beijuan. It's hidden so deep. Can you open Mangekyō Ring without pursuing power? I don't know what this Akaya Beijuan is planning to kill me. Sure enough, All Akaya are potentially dangerous elements and should be killed. Since Beijuan is an orphan with no father and no mother, and has no friends, so he can't take risks, Danzo will not speak harshly. Just do it. Facing a strong enemy like Akaya Beijuan, Danzo naturally has to go all out. Therefore, as soon as he came up, he summoned the powerful summoning beast Nightmare. The huge body is like a tiger and leopard, and Haki's head is like a mammoth. Roar. With the sound of a beast's roar, I saw the Nightmare opened its huge mouth, releasing a terrifying attraction. The gust of wind suddenly swept through, and the terrifying attraction created a tornado, which began to absorb and devour the flames. It has to be said that since Danzo has such a grudge against Akaya, he naturally has a lot of means against Akaya in his hands. This Nightmare summoning beast is very restrained fire style, and just when the Nightmare summoning beast started to move its mouth, Danzo's seal speed was not slow. Wind style vacuum Daitama. Advertisement. Wind style chakra created a vacuum shell in an instant, and ruthlessly bombed towards Beijuan's direction. The speed is not slow, and the power is not small, although it is much stronger than Common's wind style ninjutsu. Unfortunately, this level of wind style is completely meaningless in front of Beijuan. I don't have time to waste here. What if Senju Hashirama's body, Sharingan, and many experimental data and precious experimental items are transferred? Beijuan knows very well what he should do now. So, in order to beat these chicken-tailed dogs faster, the infinity symbols in the two Mangekyō rings suddenly rotated. This trick, of course, Susanoo. Susanoo is the pupil art that every pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan has, and no pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan Susanoo is the same. Different colors, different shapes. Susanoo takes many forms. Initial form, only the arms and ribs are changed, which can be used for various purposes such as attack, defense, protection, and control. The body is not completely covered by Susanoo, but there is a large gap, but the defense is enough to withstand most attacks. The first form, the appearance is in the shape of a skeleton. Chakra will completely cover the body, and the defense power will be further improved, but there are still gaps on the soles of the feet, and 2 violent attacks can break through its defense. At this time, Susanoo can hold some simple weapons, such as Common's sword, etc., and the attack method is Common's physical attack. The second form, the base of the skeleton is covered with meridians and flesh, wrapped in a coat like chakra, which can unlock the curse seal, and can use its own exclusive weapons and ninjutsu, such as Yata mirror, bow and arrow, etc. Advertisement. This Susanoo is the best in terms of balance, and Madara and Sasuke used this form a lot before gaining the power of 6 paths. At the same time, Susanoo in this state can use the universal long-range attack ninjutsu, Yasuka's hook ball. The third form, adding armor to Susanoo's original foundation, the defense power is greatly improved, and the weapons that can be used are also more abundant, such as Ten-Fist Sword, Flame Control Sword, etc. This kind of Susanoo is powerful, but the consumption of chakra has also increased significantly, and it is extremely unstable. It is difficult for common Mangekyō ring to maintain this form for a long time. Although there are many forms beyond the third form, those are not the power of the Mangekyō ring Sharingan, but the power of the eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. Beijuan can at most summon the third form of Susanoo. However, Susanoo in the third form is enough for Beijuan to crush Danzo. Boom. But between breaths, I saw Gold's chakra soaring into the sky, followed by the tens of meters of Susanoo, burly and haki. Wearing a sci-fi armor and holding a huge tang knife, it is very different from other Susanoos, but it is the Susanoo that belongs to Beijuan. Shou, Zuo. Yes, almost. Looking at the majestic titan with only the upper body, Danzo's eyes became more and more fearful. It naturally knows what it is. This is the ultimate power of the Akaya clan. Although Beijuan's Susanoo is not as huge as Akaya Madara's Susanoo, and has no lower body, but it is still powerful, at least stronger than itself. The wind of the nightmare, the wind of Danzo, blows on Susanoo's armor and can't lift the slightest trace at all. As for the attacks of those miscellaneous fish, it is not worth mentioning. Manipulating Susanoo to raise his arm, the 40-meter-long gold Tang Dao suddenly ignited a red flame. Jian Yuan. Advertisement. Boom long. The blade of flame hundreds of meters roared out, and the surging heat waves and blazing flames engulfed everything. Hundreds of miscellaneous fish died in this instant. The nightmare also died at this moment. As for Danzo, naturally, it is not easy to die, but it is not easy to die either. One leg was broken, one arm was charred, and there were extensive burns all over the body, and the whole person seemed to have lost consciousness. Beijuan knew that even though Orochimaru had defected, he had always been in touch with Danzo. After the night of genocide, Orochimaru transplanted many Sharingan collected by Shimura Danzei Ring in the Akaya genocide event on Akaya Zin, and implanted Hashirama cells in the right arm of Zin's transplanted various Sharingan to increase physical energy. Balanced with the extremely strong spiritual energy possessed by 11 Sharingan, it was then given to Danzo as Danzo's new right arm. This allows Danzo to have the power of wood style and Sharingan. As for the current Danzo, although he has not yet obtained the arm with the power of wood style and Sharingan, he has also accepted the body transformation from Orochimaru. It would have been enough to kill Danzo if it wasn't just this fencing. Not dead, but normal. Anyway, there is still value, so save your life. After giving Danzo a meaningful look, Susanoo suddenly disappeared, and Beijuan's figure also disappeared in place. Soon, Beijuan appeared in the laboratory at the bottom of the root base. When they saw researchers, they used illusion to control them, and then quickly collected various experimental data, experimental materials, and all valuable existences. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 12 Defection and Disturbance. Such a huge movement is naturally impossible to hide. When Sarutobi Hiruzen saw the ruins, he also had a worried look on his face. Danzo, you must be safe. The relationship between Hiruzen and Danzo is very complicated. It can be called love and killing each other. The killing here is not an adjective, but Danzo really organized the assassination of Hiruzen. It's just that Kakashi betrayed Danzo at a critical moment, resulting in the failure of the operation. However, when Hiruzen found out about this, he forgave Danzo anyway, seeing that Danzo was still alive and well. This can forgive Danzo. Hiruzen naturally has Danzo in his heart. Master Hokage, we have found Master Danzo. After hearing this sentence, the worried look on Hiruzen's face also faded a bit. It's just that when he saw Danzo, who was miserable and embarrassed, his expression changed suddenly and became very embarrassing. Who the hell? Looking around and looking at the ruins, Hiruzen couldn't help feeling a little bit of fear in his heart. This mysterious enemy is simply too powerful. In such a short period of time, the root base was actually destroyed. Even Danzo has become like this. As a close friend of Danzo, Hiruzen knows Danzo's strength very well. Even if his strength has declined due to old age and frailty, it is not something that common Rinnin can match. Enemies who can do such things. Definitely a powerhouse of 5 cage levels. Even an existence stronger than himself. But now that Danzo's situation is critical, Hiruzen didn't think much of it. Medical squad rushed Danzo to the hospital. Yes. Advertisement. Ad at the same time, Hyuga Hayashi, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, is also leading the ninjas of the Hyuga clan, searching for Hinata's whereabouts with white eyes. Have you not found it yet? Master Patriarch, not yet. Go ahead and look for it. Yes. The next day, when Danzo wakes up, he tells who the enemy is. Hearing the news of Hinata's disappearance, Hiruzen couldn't help furrowing his brows tightly. Ugh, Kaya Beijuan, I didn't expect such a person to be hidden in the Akaya clan. Invade root base, slaughter root ninjas, severely wound Danzo, kidnap the eldest daughter of the Hyuga clan. Shodai cells, Sharingan, white eyes. All of this made Hiruzen think of someone. That is Orochimaru, his favorite student. Does he also want to carry out those forbidden experiments? For power, or the so-called eternal life? And it's Akaya, which is a real headache. Such a dangerous person must be eradicated as soon as possible. It's just that the current Konoha lacks high-end combat power. Looks like I can only contact Jiraiya. Sighing deeply, Hiruzen just felt extremely tired. Akaya clan land. Beside Minami Kagawa, Shizui and Ichi had deep expressions on their faces. That man actually defected, and before he defected, he broke through Danzo's root base, seriously injured Danzo, and kidnapped Hinata, the eldest daughter of the Hyuga clan. Advertisement. I really don't know what he knows and what he wants to do. Shizui was very worried, and there was a strong fear hidden in his heart. He was easily defeated by Beijuan, and he was very aware of Beijuan's strength. And the most terrifying thing is not Beijuan's fighting power. The most frightening thing is Beijuan's ability to learn and predict. He was actually able to learn his phantom body flicker technique in battle, and even has the Mangekyō ring pupil technique that can see the future. Such a person is really terrible. Actually, I can guess a few. Danzo has always been hostile to Akaya, and Danzo is unscrupulous. Absolutely forbidden experiments are being carried out in the root base. That man should have gone for these things. Besides, in the future that man sees, Shizui, you will die because of Danzo. He hurt Danzo badly, and he can make Danzo be honest before the injury heals. As for why he kidnapped Hinata, I don't think it should be kidnapping, but coaxing. The purpose is naturally for Bayan. Maybe in the future he sees, there is also a secret about Bayan. And all of this is undoubtedly to improve strength. Shizui, you also know that man's ability to learn. After opening Mangekyō ring, that man began to become stronger rapidly. If my guess is correct, he may want to become a strong man like Akaya Madara before returning to Konoha to solve Akaya's problem. You know, the current Konoha doesn't have the wood-style ninja god. Ichi's gaze was very deep. Although he could guess some of Beijuan's goals, it was only a few. He didn't know what kind of future Beijuan saw, nor how many secrets Beijuan knew that could make him stronger, nor how powerful Beijuan could become. That man, it's just too scary. Ichi, your guess is correct. It's just that you don't know. Advertisement. The power of Mangekyō ring is not eternal. Every time you use pupil, your eyesight will decrease. If you use it too much, you will lose your sight. And the more powerful the pupil technique, the greater the consumption. My pupil technique, once used, needs to be cooled for more than 10 years before it can be used again. Even if Beijuan can see the future with the help of Mangekyō ring's pupil technique, there must be limitations. Shizui is also thinking, although he wants to find Beijuan's weakness, but he is not sure whether his guess is correct. Ichi on the side heard this, and quickly thought of the problem. Maybe Mangekyō ring is not the limit of Sharingan. Maybe in the future that Beijuan sees, there are also secrets about Sharingan. Maybe he can solve the problem of blindness caused by excessive use of Mangekyō ring. In the face of this man, we cannot be optimistic, let alone have the slightest chance of luck. This man is too scary and dangerous. Saying so, Ichi also showed a fearful expression. As for Shizui, he couldn't help sighing. Ichi, you're right. Facing that man, we can't be too optimistic, and we can't have the slightest chance of luck. Just talking, that man said he wanted to solve Konoha's and Akaya's problems. Whatever his intentions are, now that he's defected and seriously injured Danzo, we can relax a little bit. At least I don't have to worry too much about Konoha and Akaya's problems. Having said that, Ichi also let out a breath of foul air silently. While this is the case, we cannot let our guard down. We don't have to worry about Konoha and Akaya during this period of time. But you can't relax your vigilance, but you have to work hard. Only strong power can restrain that man. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 13 Beijuan and Orochimaru. Beijuan Big Brother. A broken bar. When Hinata called Beijuan's name in a daze, the corners of Beijuan's mouth raised slightly involuntarily. Putting down the wood-style experimental data in his hand, he got up and walked to Hinata, showing a gentle smile. Hinata, we're leaving Konoha. I just opened my eyes and saw my favorite Beijuan Big Brother, and heard such good news that I finally left Konoha, and I no longer have to practice ninja training and force myself to become a ninja. This made Hinata smile happily from the bottom of his heart. And her surprise was more than that. In order to take care of Hinata's emotions and to deepen Hinata's affection for him, Beijuan also prepared some small gifts for Hinata. For example, plush toys, various flowers, some storybooks that Hinata likes, and a lot of snacks that Hinata likes to eat. Beijuan will accompany Hinata to do whatever Hinata likes. Seeing the smile on Hinata's face and hearing Hinata's cheerful laughter, Beijuan felt a little bit happier. But after all the fun, we still have to think about business. Now that I have left Konoha, I have gained a lot of experimental data, experimental materials, and precious knowledge. Beijuan naturally had to digest these gains. Beijuan needs a lot of experiments to digest these harvests, and even use these harvests to evolve Mangekyō Ring Sharingan into Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Although Beijuan is confident to rely on his own wisdom to accomplish all this, but if someone assists, it can be completed faster. As for the best candidate, it is naturally Orochimaru, the #1 scientist in the ninja world. Advertisement. Ad. Orochimaru Grandmaster Biological Sciences, mastering gene modification technology, cloning technology, human body modification technology, biomedical technology, cell transplantation technology, artificial human technology, etc. He also has considerable attainments in mechanical engineering. In the future, he will not only manufacture the mechanical Naruto, but also the mechanical Nine Tails. Not only that, Orochimaru has also achieved remarkable results in the study of ninjutsu, improved and optimized many conventional ninjutsu, such as Orochi body replacement technique, soil body replacement technique, etc. He has also created many practical ninjutsu, such as regeneration technique, facial erasure technique and so on. Certainly, Orochimaru's most high-end achievements are naturally impure world reincarnation and undead turning. Among them, impure world reincarnation is the forbidden technique invented by second Hokage Amital. Senjutsu by Rama, which can resurrect the dead and manipulate them. However, it has many limitations and defects, making it difficult to use normally. And Orochimaru has optimized and improved impure world reincarnation. As for living corpse reincarnation, it is a forbidden technique that can transfer spirits to other people's bodies. Orochimaru also regards this technique as his hope for eternal life. Raise the dead, manipulate the dead, change the body and seek eternal life. These are enough testaments to Orochimaru's scientific talents. With the assistance of Orochimaru, he would be able to complete the evolution of Mangekyō Ring faster. Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan is definitely not my end. My eyes must be able to evolve into Rinnegan. Even Rinnegan should be able to continue to evolve. I just don't know what kind of form and power Rinnegan will have after evolution. While thinking, Beijuan took Hinata to eat, drink and have fun. As for the destination, it is naturally one of the most important strongholds of Orochimaru Tanikyuni. Advertisement. Although it is said that Orochimaru tried to capture Akaya Ichi's body as a reincarnation container after Ichi joined the Akatsuki organization, but was subdued by Ichi with illusion and cut off one hand, and then evacuated under the cover of Yakushi Kabuto, thus leaving the Akatsuki organization. Tanikyuni established the Yinin village. But Orochimaru is not alone. He has a group of subordinates and has established many strongholds. His important subordinates include Giran, Onito Suigetsu, Chongo, Xianglan, Yakushi Kabuto, Kaguya Kimimaro, Teyuya, Jirei Ring Ba Ring, Gidomaru, Zuojin, Yukin, etc. Many of the important subordinates are in Tian country, so if you want to find Orochimaru, go to Tian country. Just at the same time that Beijuan was going to find Orochimaru, Orochimaru also got information about Beijuan. Interesting, that dark old Danzo is seriously injured. This Akaya Beijuan is really interesting. He ransacked the root base and kidnapped the eldest daughter of the Hyuga clan. HMPH, I always feel like I'm in the same category. Thinking of this, Orochimaru also stuck out his own snake-like tongue. Squinting his vertical eyes slightly, he began to think about the impact this incident had on him. First, the root base was robbed and Danzo was seriously injured. In this way, he will not be able to continue to cooperate with Danzo in a short period of time, get funding from Danzo, and borrow the power of root. Secondly, this Beijuan should have obtained the cells of Senju Hashirama. If he is really the same person as himself, he might be able to study the connection between Mangekyō Ring and wood style. If my own research results are correct, the combination of wood style and Mangekyō Ring will definitely produce a very wonderful reaction. This reaction may represent the big secret about chakra. Why Orochimaru wanted Akaya Ichi's body was not simply because he wanted to get a pair of powerful Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Rather, for a scientist like Orochimaru, given a pair of Mangekyō Ring Sharingan, he will be able to study the mysteries hidden in the Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. There is also a connection between Mangekyō Ring and wood style. Since he can create an arm with both wood style and Sharingan powers for Danzo, he naturally understands the many mysteries between the two. Advertisement. Ad finally, if Beijuan and myself are really the same kind of person, then if I were Beijuan, what would I do after defecting from Konoha? His eyes suddenly lit up, and Orochimaru seemed to have thought of something. This Akaya Beijuan won't come to me. It seems very likely. Thinking of this, Orochimaru also had many thoughts in his mind. To know, Beijuan not only represents a pair of Mangekyō ring Sharingan delivered to your door with a pair of supercilious eyes from the Hyuga family, as well as a lot of experimental data, experimental materials, and other precious knowledge owned by Denzo. Not to mention anything else, just the cells of Senju Hashirama made Orochimaru very excited. He has worked with Senju Hashirama's cells and even has some in his hands now. Just too few, and with more Hashirama cells he would be able to scale up the experiment. In this way, the probability of research results will naturally become greater. Since that's the case, then make two-handed preparations first. It would be interesting if Beijuan really came to Tanzai country. Ugh, Kaya Beijuan, I hope you don't let me down. At the same time, Beijuan also saw an experimental data that was very important to him. That is the experimental data about wood style and Sharingan. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 14, Tanakuni and Orochimaru. Blood succession boundary not only represents a special ability, but also a special chakra. Reaction experimental data of Sharingan chakra with wood style chakra. Two kinds of chakra, one yin and one yang, restrain each other. Wood style chakra is extremely erosive. Common people can't bear wood style chakra at all, and will only be eroded by wood style chakra, resulting in symptoms of flesh and blood. The same is true for Sharingan chakra. Common people cannot withstand the erosion of Sharingan chakra. Sharingan chakra consumes too much physical energy and mental energy, especially mental energy. In severe cases, they will fall into a coma. However, Sharingan chakra and wood style chakra can counteract each other, making them less aggressive. Seeing this, Beijuan immediately took out a syringe containing processed Hashirama cells. The world's perception of yin and yang seems to be that yin represents the spirit, and yang represents the body. The two can be integrated with each other, but they also restrain each other. Because Orochimaru didn't have enough experimental items to conduct human experiments, his research on wood style and Sharingan only stayed on the restrained reaction experiment, but did not conduct the fusion reaction experiment. It's just that as a dragon country traveler, my understanding of yin and yang should be far beyond this world. Yin and yang can not only restrain and integrate with each other, but there should also be a phenomenon that the cathode generates yang, and the anode generates yin. After all, without a strong body, how can there be a strong spirit? How can you control a strong body if you don't have a strong spirit? Wood style, Sharingan, body, spirit. I already have research ideas. Maybe it's not that difficult to upgrade Mangekyō ring Sharingan to eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. The experimental data was naturally recorded by Orochimaru, and the restraint response experiment of wood style chakra and Sharingan chakra was naturally also formulated and executed by Orochimaru. As Beijuan read all these experimental data, this also gave Beijuan a deeper understanding of Orochimaru. It seems that I still underestimated Orochimaru, even without higher education, but geniuses have always been self-taught. The scientific research literacy demonstrated by Orochimaru is definitely not weaker than that of modern professional scientists. And Orochimaru's thinking is also very unconstrained. Many experimental designs and conjectures are really wonderful. I can't wait to meet Orochimaru and have a deeper conversation with him. Advertisement. Just thinking of this, one thing that Beijuan suddenly thought of. That is, Orochimaru probably guessed that he would go to him. In that case, what would he do? Friendly exchange? Or laying a net to try to get a lot of precious experimental material? After all, this is ninja world. People who are weaker than themselves are naturally not qualified to communicate with Orochimaru friendly. Orochimaru is really confident. Even if you know that I am strong, do you still want to fight? Can you save your life if you can't beat it? Although your life-saving ability is indeed very strong, but if you use the forbidden technique living corpse reincarnation, your spirit will be damaged and your resistance to illusions will be reduced. Even Akaya Ichi can easily defeat you with illusion, let alone me? With a slight flicker in his eyes, Beijuan felt that he should also give Orochimaru a blow. Faced with someone like Orochimaru, it's impossible not to make him feel intimidated. Time passed slowly, and Beijuan also brought Hinata to Tensei country. Even Senju Hashirama created Ninja Village, ending the so-called Sengoku era. But he just ended the Sengoku era of ninjas, and the social system of common people is still the same as Sengoku. Daimyo, nobles, officials, merchants, and common people at the bottom. In Beijuan's view, such a social system is naturally quite deformed. But after learning about the world, I feel normal again. Advertisement. Ad. After all, ninjas don't do production, let alone management, they only know how to fight and kill. Although a country needs military power is also not suitable for running a country. Since they do not participate in management, ninjas naturally cannot control power, let alone control most of the resources. Even if the common ninja can easily kill those daimyo, nobles, and even officials. But in terms of status, it is far lower than the rich and powerful. In theory, the strong can easily control the powerful and plunder everything from them. But this kind of thing doesn't seem to happen in the ninja world. Orochimaru also seems to obtain money and resources in the form of transactions. As for what is being traded, Beijuan speculates that it is using body modification technology. After all, there is no powerful person who does not want to make their bodies stronger and healthier, so that they can enjoy life better. It seems that the daimyo of Tanakuni trusts Orochimaru a lot. Actually funded Orochimaru to build such a huge laboratory. Tanakuni was originally a small country, but the scale of Orochimaru's laboratory was comparable to a medium-sized village. Perhaps the future Itachi village will be built on Orochimaru's laboratory. Yuma Broken Bar. Although this enchantment is good, it is not concealed enough, at least not from my Mangekyō ring. Standing in front of the barrier, Beijuan cast his gaze in the direction where Orochimaru was. Then with a slight smile, he stepped into the enchantment trap without any hesitation. Watching this scene, Orochimaru's pupils shrank suddenly. He spotted me and the trap, but he walked in without fear. 4 Purple Flame Formation. As soon as Beijuan stepped into the barrier, purple light rose up, creating a 3-dimensional barrier. Advertisement. And then, formation of 10,000 snakes. Densely dense boa constrictors emerged from the ground like a huge wave, trying to submerge Beijuan. Faced with such a trap, Beijuan just silently activated the fire-style chakra mode. Boom. But in an instant, crimson flames burst out from Beijuan's body, condensing into a suit of armor. With a grasp of the palm, the flaming Tang saber also suddenly formed. With a sudden wave, the 50-meter-long flame blade submerged the sea of AA snakes in an instant. Hiss, hiss. The boa constrictor neighed in pain, turning to ashes in pain. Swing the knife again. The second flame blade easily devoured and tore apart the 4 purple flame formations. Swing the knife for the 3rd time. The 3rd flame blade roared out, slashing towards Orochimaru's direction. Boom. With the sound of a roar, Orochimaru, who avoided the blow with the big snake flow body replacement technique, also appeared in front of Beijuan. His face was full of embarrassment. He knew that Beijuan was very strong, but he didn't expect Beijuan to be so strong. So easy and freehand, he shattered his trap. But without waiting for Orochimaru to react, Beijuan smiled slightly, and then swung the knife again. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29 to May 3. Chapter 15 Friends and Secrets. Is this still Uchiha-style fencing? It is actually able to cut out such a terrifying flame blade, such a terrifying high temperature, such a terrifying speed, and such a huge attack range. It's really hard to imagine that this is actually an attack from Uchiha. Beijuan slashing with a knife. And the flame armor on Beijuan's body? What kind of ninjutsu is it? Is it a ninjutsu similar to lightning-style chakra mode? Looking at the completeness of its flame armor, it seems to be more complete than the lightning-style chakra mode. Did Beijuan develop it himself? With one person's power, he can actually develop a ninjutsu comparable to lightning-style chakra mode, or even surpass lightning-style chakra mode. You know, lightning-style chakra mode is a secret technique that the Raikage family has perfected for hundreds of years. What an amazing talent. This Beijuan is indeed the same kind of person as me. Although Orochimaru was very embarrassed, there was a bit of excitement in his heart. Even though Orochimaru's ideas are extreme, he is still human after all. Still longing for friends, still longing for confidence. Only, in the past, He had two friends, Jiraiya and Tsunade. But these two friends don't agree with his thoughts, let alone understand his dreams, and even want to do their best to stop him. That being the case, then of course they can't be friends. Although friendship is precious, dreams are naturally more important. For a long time, Orochimaru has never met his own kind. He has 1,000 words in his heart, but he doesn't know who to tell or communicate with. And now, he seems to have found a kindred spirit. How does this make Orochimaru describe his mood at this time? Advertisement. However, without waiting for Orochimaru to show an excited expression, Beijuan, who seized the opportunity, met Orochimaru's eyes. Mangekyō hang technique. This is how the future Ichi defeated Orochimaru. Beijuan, who is stronger than Ichi, can naturally do it too. Moreover, Beijuan also made certain improvements to the Mangekyō hang technique. In the root base, Beijuan also found the secret art of the Yamanaka family. Integrating it into the Mangekyō hang technique also gave the Mangekyō hang technique the ability to read memory. In a trance, Orochimaru found himself pulled into the illusion space, lying on the operating table, with huge iron nails firmly nailed to his body, making him unable to move. He tried to dispel the illusion, but to no avail. Orochimaru, your mental strength is pitifully weak. I saw your weakness the first time I saw you. Listening to Beijuan's words, Orochimaru knew that Beijuan would not kill him, which also made Orochimaru relax a little. It's only in front of Mangekyō ring that my mental strength is weak. How can the common illusion of the common ninja control me so easily? What's more, how many people in the ninja world can resist Mangekyō ring's illusion? And there is a reason why my mental strength is weak. Do you want to know what I have obtained on the condition of weakening my spiritual strength? In Orochimaru's eyes, Beijuan saw some pride. Beijuan knew that Orochimaru was proud of his research and development of living corpse reincarnation, a forbidden technique that can greatly extend human lifespan. And Orochimaru, who was able to create the living corpse reincarnation, is indeed qualified to be proud. Orochimaru, I know you better than you think. Of course I know what you got. You got the living corpse reincarnation, and you got the hope of eternal life. After hearing Beijuan's reply, Orochimaru's pupils shrank involuntarily. He looked at Beijuan in shock, wondering why Beijuan knew such secret information. It's really surprising. I really want to know how much information you have, Mr. Beijuan, and how many secrets you know. Seeing Orochimaru like this, Beijuan smiled slightly, and then replied in a meaningful tone, Mr. Orochimaru, don't worry. Advertisement. I think we can become very good friends and have a long-lasting friendship. Time will let you know me better and tell you everything you want to know about you. This simple sentence made Orochimaru smile uncontrollably. A friendship that lasts forever. Orochimaru could naturally guess what Beijuan was implying. Beijuan also desires immortality. He recognizes his own thoughts, dreams and pursuits. He is indeed the same kind of person as himself. It just didn't keep Orochimaru happy for long. He had just revealed his smile when he heard Beijuan's next words, and his expression froze accordingly. But before you know my secret, let me know your secret. He seemed to realize that Beijuan had mastered what to do. Beijuan also proved his conjecture to be correct. Orochimaru was overwhelmed by the overwhelming mental power like the sea. Orochimaru felt a strong sense of suffocation. Spiritual power penetrated into Orochimaru's body like sea water, knowing all his secrets. How many strongholds do you have? 76. How many reincarnation containers do you have? 13. In illusion space, time has no meaning. Maybe it's been a long time, maybe it's only a moment. When Beijuan knew everything he wanted to know, he came into contact with illusion. And when Orochimaru regained his freedom, he also looked at Beijuan with extremely complicated eyes. Beijuan is indeed the same kind of person as him. Advertisement. It is precisely because of this, he is very able to understand everything Beijuan does. If he were Beijuan, he would do the same. Only, it's so hard not to have a secret. He knew that Beijuan, who knew all his secrets, could easily and completely kill himself. Faced with such an existence, there is really no sense of security at all. Don't make such an expression. I won't do anything to you. Aren't we friends? With a very forced smile, Orochimaru responded, yes, we are friends. Since we are friends, Shouldn't we help each other? Certainly. Very good. That being the case, let's start experimenting with responses to Mangekyō ring and wood style. Although it doesn't feel good to be controlled by others, as a scientist, Orochimaru is very interested in Beijuan's experiment of Mangekyō ring and wood style's reaction. You know, he has long wanted to study Mangekyō ring. It's just that there has been no Mangekyō ring as experimental material. As a result, many of his conjectures and theories could not be verified. And now Beijuan is here. He finally had the opportunity to test his conjecture and theory. Mangekyō ring and wood style. What kind of secrets are hidden in the two blood successor boundaries that surpass the common ninjas and even the common blood successor limits? Good. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 16 Gene Fusion Experiment of Senju and Akaya. After knowing all Orochimaru's secrets, Beijuan is naturally not afraid that Orochimaru will play tricks on him. On the contrary, he is very confident that he can handle Orochimaru with ease. And Orochimaru also saw how powerful Beijuan was, so naturally he didn't dare to act presumptuously. Plus he really wanted to study the relationship between Mangekyō ring and wood style. So the two hit it off. Tanekuni is Orochimaru's domain, and many of his subordinates are teenagers and girls, so they just let them play with Hinata. With the Hinata in place, Beijuan can devote himself to working with Orochimaru on the Mangekyō ring and wood style reaction experiments. This is the power of Mangekyō ring. Sure enough, it is not at the same level as Common's Sharingan. It can reduce the erosiveness of wood style chakra so easily, and because the two are of the same level of power, Mangekyō ring chakra and wood style chakra actually have a tendency to merge with each other when reacting. If we can find the conditions that catalyze the fusion of the two, we may be able to fuse the power of wood style and Mangekyō ring to create a new and stronger power. After starting the experiment, Orochimaru seemed to be a different person. Watching the reaction of the experiment, his eyes were full of heat. This also made Beijuan feel emotional. Orochimaru is indeed Orochimaru, very demeanor of a scientific madman. This is also good. With the help of Orochimaru, I can save a lot of time. Indeed, this experimental project is simpler than I imagined, and your scientific research talent, Orochimaru, is also more penultimate than I imagined. You are right. As long as we find the conditions that can catalyze the fusion reaction of Mangekyō ring chakra and wood style chakra, we can get amazing research results. I have an idea for this. We can start with the genes. Following Beijuan's words, Orochimaru's eyes could not help showing a bit of strange color. Advertisement. He seemed to have thought of something, and then tentatively asked, Mr. Beijuan, can you tell me the reason? Seeing Orochimaru's reaction, Beijuan paused, and decided to tell Orochimaru the reason. The reason is that the Senju clan has the same ancestor as the Akaya clan. What? Hearing this information, Orochimaru couldn't help being stunned for a moment, feeling a strong, indescribably absurd feeling in his heart. He knows the Senju family and the Akaya family are feuds, and there were countless wars during the Sengoku period. Senju killed many Akaya, and Akaya killed many Senju. With such a relationship, Beijuan actually told him that Senju and Akaya have the same ancestor. This is simply the greatest joke in the world. But, he, Orochimaru, has also studied Sharingan and wood style, and knows that the two have some kind of mysterious connection. So, Beijuan didn't lie to him. If Senju and Akaya really have the same ancestor, then many things can be understood, especially Mangekyō ring's relationship with wood style. It was a real surprise. Since Senju and Akaya have the same ancestor, it should really start with the genetics. It's just that I'm very curious about the ancestors of Senju and Akaya. I wonder if it's convenient for you, Mr. Beijuan, to reveal some more information? Advertisement. Looking at Orochimaru's thoughtful expression, Beijuan knew that many things could not be hidden from Orochimaru. Certainly. I don't want to hide it either. Since you want to know, Orochimaru, I'll tell you all about it. After Sage of Six Paths founded Ninja, they returned to their hometown to marry a wife and have children, leaving behind 2 children. The big brother Indra inherited a strong chakra gene, and he was born with great strength, but his younger brother Ashura did not inherit a strong chakra gene. In order to cooperate with others, he needs to work harder and endure all difficulties. Difficult and practice hard. Chakra within Ashura awakens to gain the same power as his big brother. Under Ashura's way of living, Sage of Six Paths sees a new possibility, and believes that mutual trust and assistance with companions is the real source of strength. So when Sage of Six Paths entrusted the power and will of ninja to his two sons before his death, he chose Ashura as the leader of ninja and let him lead the world. He thought that his big brother Indra would assist his younger brother to complete his great cause. However, Indra do not accept Ui's arrangement, and therefore confront Ashura. Because Ui chose his younger brother Ashura, who has a fairy body and advocates peace through love, as his successor, instead of his big brother Indra, who has the eyes of a fairy and advocates peace through power. The descendants of the two of them have passed along with the passage of time and the fighting, the long and endless war. Having said this, Orochimaru already understood everything. Indra, Ashura, celestial body, celestial eye. The current Orochimaru is a member of the Akatsuki organization. Having seen Rinnegan with his own eyes, he made an astonishing guess almost immediately after learning the astonishing news. Rinnegan evolved from Sharingan. Combining Mangekyō Ring's power with Woodstyle's power will allow Mangekyō Ring to evolve into a Rinnegan. Pain's Rinnegan doesn't belong to him, but belongs to a broken bar. Wisdom Wave Madara Advertisement. So, is Akaya Madara dead or alive? What kind of secret is hidden behind the Akatsuki organization? Orochimaru, don't overthink it. Only with absolute power can you be qualified to know the truth of everything. Being strong is the most important thing. Let's finish the experiment in hand before considering other things. Hearing Beijuan's words, Orochimaru paused for a while, then nodded slightly, and replied, I see. Now that Beijuan has pointed out the research direction, and Orochimaru is also the Grand Master of genetic modification technology, then the next experiment will naturally be smooth sailing. Sure enough, Senju's genes are highly overlapped with Akaya's genes, and the two really have the same ancestor. More importantly, the differential genes of Senju and Akaya are complementary. It's like two pieces of a puzzle that are only complete when they fit together. Interesting, it's really interesting. We can fuse the genes of Senju and Akaya through genetic engineering technology, so as to restore the genes of Sage of Six Paths. Although the complete Sage of Six Paths gene cannot be restored, it is still an amazing achievement. Looking at Orochimaru's enthusiastic appearance, Beijuan's eyes could not help showing a bit of anticipation. Yeah, this is indeed an amazing result. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 17 Genes and Chakra. Whether it is Sharingan or Wood style, all blood succession boundaries in the ninja world are the concrete manifestation of genes. To be more professional, it is the dominant shape of the gene. The blood succession boundary corresponds to many gene sequences, and some gene sequences are activated by chakra, which can make the blood succession boundary appear. And as more blood succession gene sequences are activated, the strength of the blood succession boundary becomes stronger. The process of Sharingan's continuous upgrading is actually the process of the Sharingan gene sequence being continuously activated. It's just that a part of the Sharingan gene sequence cannot be activated by its own chakra, which is also the reason for restricting the evolution of Mangekyō Ring Sharingan into Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Speaking of which, Beijuan also knew how to open the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Beijuan found it absurd that Mangekyō Ring Sharingan could evolve into Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan only by transplanting the Mangekyō Ring of his closest relatives. The eldest son of the Sage of Six Paths, the ancestor of the Akaya clan, the Mangekyō Ring Sharingan of Indra should be the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Otherwise he would have been blinded in the endless battle. Since the Sharingan of Indra is born to be the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan, then why is the opening method of Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan so different? Thinking of the relative word closest relative, Beijuan suddenly thought of a reason. Transplanting the eyes of close relatives also means lower rejection. Chakra is a combination of physical energy and spiritual energy, and is closely related to genes. The chakra of close relatives must be very similar, and has lower rejection and can be integrated with each other. Maybe the transplant isn't the key, chakra is. This should not be a genetic problem, but a lack of chakra. Maybe opening Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan requires a lot of Sharingan chakra. or the so-called pupil power, and a pair of Mangekyō ring pupil power is not enough for Mangekyō ring Sharingan to evolve into eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. Advertisement. And that's why 2 pairs are needed. Only with strong enough pupil power can this process of quantitative change to qualitative change be completed. This is very scientific, and it is in line with the law of mutual transformation of mass. According to this logic, the combination of the genes of the Senju family and the genes of the Uchiha family can activate the gene sequence of the Rinnegan. Just to unlock the Rinnegan, you need a lot of chakra, and the Tenseigan is activated in the same way. White eyes of high purity combined with chakra of the Oetsutsuki clan. Wait a minute. White eyes needs to be combined with chakra from the Oetsutsuki clan to evolve into Tenseigan. So to open Rinnegan, do you need Indra and Ashura's chakra? It's a bit of a hassle if you have to. With Senju Hashirama's corpse in his hands, Beijuan was naturally able to extract Ashura's chakra. But Indra's chakra is not so easy to come by. Uchiha Madara was supposed to be dead after all. In order to obtain Indra's chakra, it may be necessary to revive it with impure world reincarnation. But Beijuan knew that impure world reincarnation could not control the revived Uchiha Madara. Yuma Broken Bar. Maybe Uzumaki Nagato's chakra can also be used instead of Indra and Ashura's chakra? After all, he who has Rinnegan also has Rinnegan chakra. Rinnegan chakra should be regarded as a more advanced chakra than Indra's chakra and Ashura chakra, and it can be used to replace Indra's chakra and Ashura chakra with a high probability. Thinking about it this way, my upgrade path is very clear. Implant the cells of Senju Hashirama through genetic engineering technology, so as to optimize the gene, and complete the process of quantitative change to qualitative change by fusing wood-style chakra, so that Mangekyō ring Sharingan can evolve into eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. Advertisement. And then figure out a way to get Uzumaki Nagato's Rinnegan chakra to unlock the Rinnegan. Perfect. After thinking about all this, Beijuan immediately asked Orochimaru, who was doing the experiment, "Orochimaru, how long will it take for the gene fusion catalyst to be manufactured?" 3 days are enough. Hearing Beijuan's inquiry, Orochimaru thought for a while, and quickly told Beijuan the answer. And this answer made Beijuan nodded slightly. Orochimaru deserves to be Orochimaru. The scientific research speed is really fast. Very good. I can't wait to evolve my Mangekyō ring Sharingan again. Glancing at Beijuan's Mangekyō ring, Orochimaru's eyes also revealed a bit of blaze. How he wishes he had a pair of Mangekyō ring too. In this way, he can rely on his scientific research ability to evolve it. To know, the ultimate form of Sharingan is Rinnegan, and he, Orochimaru, has seen the power of Rinnegan firsthand. I'm looking forward to it too. I wonder how powerful the power that belongs to the Sage of Six Paths really is. Orochimaru also thought of one thing when he said those words. Since Pain's Rinnegan does not belong to him, how could he be able to exert the full power of Rinnegan? However, even if he can't fully exert the full power of Rinnegan, he can defeat himself so easily. Advertisement. So just how powerful is the Rinnegan? Sage of Six Paths created the moon in Legendary. If Rinnegan really has the power to create the moon. As a scientist, Orochimaru knows all too well how difficult it is to create a moon. The existence that can create the moon is absolutely invincible in the ninja world. A strong person with this kind of power, like the Sage of Six Paths, can change the world arbitrarily according to his own wishes. I'll let you see. Speed up. Good. After replying, Orochimaru also accelerated the speed in his hand. While conducting experiments, I was thinking about a problem. Although my own genetic technology cannot allow me to directly obtain Sharingan and wood style through genetic modification, my genetic technology has been improving all the time. Just because you can't do it now doesn't mean you won't be able to do it in the future. In the near future, I will definitely be able to own wood style and Mangekyō ring, even Rinnegan, who might be able to have it himself. Just because Sage of Six Paths can't achieve immortality with the power of Rinnegan doesn't mean I, Orochimaru, can't achieve immortality. Thinking of this, Orochimaru also had very strong expectations for the future. In this way, with the passage of time, gene medicines and gene fusion catalysts were also successively born in the hands of Beijuan and Orochimaru. After clinical testing, Beijuan is ready to genetically modify himself so that the Mangekyō ring Sharingan can evolve into the eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29 to May 3, Chapter 18 Eternal Eye and Wood Style, when the genetic medicine and the catalyst are mixed together according to the optimal ratio. The light green liquid looks so charming. Holding the syringe, Bejuan admired it for a second or two, then stabbed it into his heart fiercely, and then pushed. A slight tingling sensation, and a little chill in the heart. But soon, the chill became hot. It was as if a flame had risen in his heart, and the flame was burning blazingly, spreading rapidly, and soon filled his entire body. The flame ignited every cell in his body, and was also transforming every cell in his body. Both Senju and Akaya are descendants of the Sage of Six Paths, who is ultimately the son of Oetsutsuki Kaguya. In other words, both Senju and Akaya have alien genes. They are not pure humans at all. Since it is not purely human, the cell structure is naturally not human cell structure. What's even more amazing is that the structures of Senju cells and Akaya cells are so different. The Oetsutsuki gene is not only not reproductively isolated from human genes, but can also be combined with human genes to give birth to races with their own characteristics and stable inheritance. Senju, Akaya, Uzumaki, Hyuga. This kind of gene is really amazing. If you are happy, you must study it in depth. While thinking, Bejuan sensed the subtle changes in himself. As the incomplete Sage of Six Paths gene is injected into the heart changes immediately, and the Six Paths gene spreads to the whole body along with the blood circulation system, thereby performing gene fusion. Advertisement. In the process of gene fusion, each cell of the body produces specific changes. The changes in cells lead to changes in body energy, which in turn leads to changes in chakra, and special chakra can promote its own changes. The physical quality becomes stronger, the body's carrying capacity for chakra becomes stronger, and the quality and quantity of chakra also become stronger. Even the brain has undergone certain changes, leading to an improvement in Bejuan's ability to perceive and control chakra. What an amazing feeling, it's like being reborn. Although I didn't directly awaken Sage body, my current body already has some Sage body characteristics. For example, the self-healing ability far exceeds that of common humans, and the physical fitness far exceeds common humans. And that would give me a bigger chakra as well. Quantitative changes can produce qualitative changes, and with this new, high-quality chakra pouring into the Mangekyō ring Sharingan and being absorbed by the Mangekyō ring Sharingan, it seems that it is only a matter of time before my Mangekyō ring Sharingan evolves into the eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. As long as the absorbed chakra reaches a limit, a qualitative change can be produced, thus completing the evolution. Since the evolution of the Mangekyō ring Sharingan is only a matter of time, I will now let me figure out how to get the Sage body. I can test the genes later to see how much the gene sequence of Sage body is activated. With Senju Hashirama's cells in hand, it should not be a problem to develop a method to activate the Sage body gene sequence. When the Sage body gene sequence is activated to a certain extent, it will naturally allow me to master wood style. In fact, Bejuan understands very well that the reason why wood style is so powerful is because Senju Hashirama awakened the Sage body and possessed a large amount of chakra. It is also because of this that wood style can produce such terrifying effects. So if you switch to other elemental blood succession limits, Senju Hashirama can also exert a powerful force comparable to wood style. Just like Ice Escape. With the same volume, Ice Dragon technique will be weaker than Wood Dragon technique. Will Iceman technique be weaker than Wooden Golem Jutsu? Advertisement. Just look at Yamato and you will know that even if he has mastered wood style, he is only a common blood follower of limited ninja strength, which is not as good as Senju Hashirama. The gap between him and Senju Hashirama is like the gap between common Akaya Ringnin and Akaya Madara. It is people who are strong, not blood successors. But no matter what, wood style is also a very powerful blood succession limit. Being able to master nature is a good thing. And in Bejuan's strengthening plan, there is naturally a blood successor snare. The fusion of 2 attributes is the limit of the blood successor, the fusion of the 3 attributes is the elimination of the blood successor, and the fusion of the 7 attributes is the trap of the blood successor. Since chakra's attributes can be continuously fused, and with the merging of chakra's attributes, the resulting blood successors will become stronger and stronger. With such a clear upgrade route, How could Beizhuan not explore it? I am Akaya, and I am best at fire style. If you master wood style, if you can combine wood style and fire style, what kind of blood succession will be born? According to the theory of the 5 elements in the previous life, wood can make fire. Presumably the fusion of wood style and fire style will not be very difficult, and once the two are fused, the blood successor eliminated must be very powerful, at least stronger than dust done. To know, dust escape has a powerful destructive power to break down matter into atoms. Then, does the blood succession elimination, which is a fusion of wood style and fire style, have the powerful destructive power to ignite atoms? Beizhuan is looking forward to it. Just as Beizhuan was thinking about the future, the hot feeling all over his body gradually subsided, and his body began to return to normal. The only abnormality is that the Mangekyō ring Sharingan is still absorbing chakra. Advertisement. Mr. Beizhuan, how do you feel? Seeing that Beizhuan's physical condition returned to normal, Orochimaru immediately asked expectantly. Very well, Mangekyō ring is constantly absorbing chakra, just as we speculate. As long as enough chakra is absorbed, Mangekyō ring Sharingan can evolve into eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. Beizhuan replied with a smile. Hearing Beizhuan's reply, Orochimaru couldn't help showing a smile, and the anticipation in his eyes grew stronger. In that case, congratulations to Mr. Beizhuan, who will soon be able to get a pair of eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. I just wonder how long it takes for Mangekyō ring to evolve. Sensing the speed at which Mangekyō ring absorbed chakra, Beizhuan replied after a slight pause, it will take about a week. That's right, that's going to be soon. Yes. After this topic ended, Beizhuan continued, Orochimaru, come and give me a comprehensive physical examination. I want to see the detailed changes in my body data. Okay. After half a novel, Beizhuan and Orochimaru looked at Beizhuan's physical examination report. Compared with the previous physical examination report, Shindu's eyes were extremely hot. I didn't expect the change to be so huge. And the gene sequence of Sage body has already activated a quarter. Looks like I'll be able to get wood style soon. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 19 The Eternal Eye and the Power of God. With his eyes fixed slightly, Beizhuan's tone suddenly changed, and he said, Orochimaru, do you think that if the fusion experiment of Earth-style chakra and Water-style chakra is carried out, can wood-style be artificially produced? As Beizhuan's words reached Orochimaru's ears, Orochimaru's eyes also revealed a ray of thought. In theory, it is possible, but the wood style produced by this method seems to be two different things from Senju Hashirama's wood style. Senju Hashirama's wood style is powerful not only because of Senju Hashirama's own strength, but also because of Senju Hashirama's unique chakra. Indeed. Gently nodding his head, Beizhuan then said, the power of wood style is closely related to the nature of chakra. Senju Hashirama's chakra is full of vitality, and all the trees made by Senju Hashirama using wood style have extremely strong regeneration ability. Therefore, there is no difference whether it is a natural wood style or a synthetic wood style to make this special chakra, or to make chakra have a strong vitality. Wood style is just wood style, only chakra is the most important. This chakra full of vitality has the attribute of yang escape, and the influence of genetics on the properties of chakra is very huge. When Beizhuan said this, Orochimaru also understood. Gene. So next, should we still focus on Senju Hashirama's genes? Yes and no. The genes of Senju Hashirama need to be studied, the genes of the Uchiha family should also be studied, even the genes of the Hyuga family, and even other blood ninjas can be studied. Restore the genes of Sage of Six Paths as much as possible, and you will be able to master the power of Sage of Six Paths to a greater extent. Even though Beizhuan's tone was very flat, Orochimaru couldn't help showing an expression of emotion. It's a huge project. Advertisement. But I'm also very interested in the power of the Sage of Six Paths. In that case, let's do it. Seeing Orochimaru's enthusiasm, Beizhuan also showed a gratified expression, patted Orochimaru's shoulder lightly, and said cheers. For the next week, Beizhuan learned the precious knowledge collected by Orochimaru, played happily with Hinata, and waited silently for Mangekyō ring Sharingan to absorb enough chakra to evolve into eternal Mangekyō ring Sharingan. In this way, Time passed quickly. In the early morning of the 7th day, evolution quietly began. A slight swelling came from the eyes, as if something was about to be born in the eyes. The Sharingan chakra, which represents pupil power, begins to compress, and when it is compressed to ultimate, a brand new, higher quality Sharingan chakra is born. And this chakra, of course, can be called Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan chakra. Under the influence of this chakra, in Beijuan's perception, many cells that make up the Mangekyō Ring Sharingan began to change. Numerous subtle changes piled up, making Mangekyō Ring Sharingan produce earth-shaking changes. The Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan was finally born. And with the birth of Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan, the chakra that belonged exclusively to the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan also began to assimilate the other chakra in Beijuan's body. When the full chakra transformation is complete, Beijuan's strength has naturally improved a lot. Is this the power of the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan? Sure enough, they are extremely powerful. In these eyes, the world has become different. Advertisement. Ad so clear, light and shadow, dust, airflow. It's such a wonderful feeling. Whispering in a low voice like this, sighing from the bottom of his heart, Beijuan also couldn't wait to experience the pupil technique of Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Although the ability is still learning and deduction, but the effect must have been greatly enhanced. When the symbol representing infinity in the right eye rotates 180 degrees clockwise, Beijuan seems to feel the stillness of time. The brain is so clear and the mind is so active. I didn't expect fire-style chakra mode to have such flaws. I didn't notice it before. Maybe it was because of lack of brain power. Quickly counting the defects of fire-style chakra mode, with the power of pupil deduction, Beijuan can also quickly come up with one optimization plan after another. Yuma broken bar. I seem to be able to combine fire-style chakra mode with 8 inner gates more closely. It just so happens that I have just completed genetic modification, and my body's carrying capacity for chakra has also been improved. It shouldn't be a problem to permanently open the second gate of the 8 inner gates. There is also Akaya-style swordsmanship, which can also be slightly optimized and improved to create a new, more powerful move that is more suitable for fire-style chakra mode. Maybe it's been a long time, maybe it's only been 10 seconds. When the infinity symbol returned to normal, Beijuan also perfected the fire-style chakra mode A second gate form, and the Akaya-style sword technique A sun flame slash. With a satisfied expression on his face, Beijuan rested for a while, and then began to permanently open the second gate of the 8 inner gates. The method of permanently opening the second gate of the 8 inner gates is the same as the method of permanently opening the first gate of the 8 inner gates. Advertisement. Ad. It is still the principle of the spiral supercharging to inject chakra into the shoe door, and then build a chakra Uzumaki in the shoe door, so that the shoe door is permanently opened. And because Beijuan's ability to master chakra has been improved, he has another experience. So Beijuan is very familiar with the permanent opening of the second gate of the 8 inner gates this time. Feeling the chakra growing again, as well as the subtle changes in himself after opening the door, the smile on Beijuan's face became brighter and brighter. It went so smoothly. I didn't expect my change plan to be so smooth. The speed of becoming stronger has also exceeded my expectations. It's too fast. Now I should have surpassed 5 cage levels, comparable to Senju Hashirama, who has awakened sage body and wood style, or Akaya Madara in the state of Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. His fingers lightly pressed on his Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan. Beijuan knew that his current self was able to use that move. Full body Susanoo. Only the full body Susanoo is the true form of Susanoo. Only the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan can master this trick. Its size exceeds the peak of the mountain, showing the posture of a warrior, and its combat power is enough to rival the tailed beast. The wings on the armor on the back are transformed and equipped with 2 swords, which can soar in the sky and use the ninjutsu that the caster is good at. Possesses the mighty power to split a mountain with one blow. This belongs exclusively to the Akaya clan. The Power of God. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 20. Breaking Mountain Strike and Elementalization of Fire. Came to a remote area. Beijuan decided to test the power of the gods that belong to the Akaya clan. When the Eternal Mangekyō Ring Sharingan glowed scarlet, The two infinite coincidences suddenly turned, and the dazzling golden light burst out from Beijuan's body. The materialized chakra quickly condensed into a huge and burly titan. The height of hundreds of meters is like a giant god from ancient times, wearing heavy armor, holding a huge sword, and a pair of extremely gorgeous light wings on the back. Haki, noble, is like an admiral army of the giant gods. What a powerful force. It's a huge size. No wonder it can be called the power of God. One blow can split a mountain. For common people and even ninjas, only gods can do things. This kind of power is also the power that only gods can have. Controlling Susanoo to raise the golden giant sword in his hand high, Beijuan aimed at the barren mountain that was a head shorter than Susanoo. Even if he didn't chop down, Beijuan knew that this small barren mountain couldn't resist the strength of Susanoo. Since you want to test, let's test my strongest blow now. After muttering to himself, Beijuan activated the fire-style chakra mode second gate form with a little expectation. Boom! Accompanied by the sudden roar, a crimson flame suddenly burst out from Beijuan's body, and continued to rise and spread. But within a breath, the red flames covered the complete Susanoo, and also completely covered the golden sword in its hand. The giant sword made of golden brilliance was covered with a layer of crimson flames. The golden brilliance echoes the firelight. How gorgeous it looks. Akaya-style swordsmanship. Advertisement. Adra and cut. Beijuan combined the sword-leaping flame, sun halo dance, and blast sword of the Akaya style of swordsmanship to create this sun flame slash. It can cut out the most powerful flame blade to the greatest extent. Simple, yet powerful. Ho, ho. As the full-body Susanoo swung the giant sword, the terrifying kinetic energy set off a storm. The crimson flames were blazing, and as the giant sword slashed out, a 300-meter-long flame blade suddenly roared out. The barren mountain was divided into two in an instant, and the red flame ignited the divided barren mountain. The flame blade that split the barren mountain was like a bamboo, and continued to gallop towards it. The earth was severed, leaving a huge, ferocious gully. The remaining flames spread even more rapidly, and it was only a single blow that created such a messy scene. Such power is almost comparable to a natural disaster. Too powerful, really too powerful. Is this the power of the perfect Susanoo? Sure enough, it is the power of God. Although Beijuan knew that the full-body Susanoo was very powerful. Just to know is to know. To see with one's own eyes is to see with one's own eyes. Only by seeing such a shocking picture with one's own eyes can one deeply understand how powerful the so-called power of God is. This is just the beginning. I can't wait to become a stronger force. Advertisement. Ad. Finally, taking a deep look at the piece of waste that he had just created, Beijuan immediately touched Susanoo, and the figure disappeared in the same place in an instant. Back at Orochimaru's stronghold, Beijuan continued to study the precious knowledge collected by Orochimaru. Beijuan has always believed that only with enough knowledge can he fully understand and master power. Only by continuous learning can we continue to improve and become stronger. It has to be said that Beijuan has benefited a lot from the knowledge of Orochimaru's collection. Maybe it won't be long, when Beijuan has learned all this knowledge, he will be able to conduct another deduction to create a powerful ninjutsu that suits him. And this ninjutsu can also make Beijuan stronger. 2 days later, Beijuan saw a piece of knowledge that interested him very much. That is the secret technique inherited from the Ghost Lamp clan, from Orochimaru's subordinate Ghost Lamp Suigetsu. Hydration technique. A broken bar. Hydration technique is a ninjutsu that can liquefy the body at will, making physical attacks ineffective. In addition to being able to easily avoid attacks in melee combat, it can also sneak into buildings and attack in a liquefied state, etc., which has great flexibility. But when encountering lightning style, it will turn the caster into a jelly sculpture-like object. Is this kind of secret technique blood succession? Regardless of whether it is a blood successor or not, my pupil technique study and pupil technique deduction should be able to solve its mystery. Elementalization of the body is a secret art with considerable research value. Feels like a great fit to fit into fire-style chakra mode. Could be used as an upgrade to fire-style chakra mode. Beijuan thinks so, and does so. In the next period of time, Beijuan began to study the hydration technique. With the help of pupil learning and pupil deduction, Beijuan quickly understood the principle of hydration technique. Advertisement. Ad. Sure enough, As I suspected, hydration technique represents a hidden property of chakra. Chakra can affect the body of a ninja, chakra can produce nature transformation, and chakra can also cause the figure of a ninja to produce nature transformation, which is the so-called elementalization. It's just that there are a lot of water in the human body, so using chakra to turn the human body into water is relatively easy to do. It's more difficult to use chakra to transform the human body into other elements. It's just that the difficulty is difficult, and it's not impossible. When the infinity appeared in his right eye and rotated 180 degrees clockwise, Beijuan's extremely active thinking allowed Beijuan to find a way to make the human body fire element very quickly. Now that he has found the method, Beijuan can perfect this method, design this method as a secret technique, and finally integrate it into the fire-style chakra mode. I don't know how long time has passed. When Beijuan exited the deduction state, the fire-style chakra mode has been upgraded and has the function of fire elementalization. Perfect. After muttering to himself, Beijuan directly used the fire elementalization function of fire-style chakra mode. But between breaths, chakra completed the fire-style nature, covered Beijuan's body completely, and started the assimilation reaction under Beijuan's control. Ho ho! When the crimson flame burst out from Beijuan's body and completely enveloped Beijuan, Beijuan turned into a fireman. It's an amazing feeling. Manipulate flames, turn them into fire elements. Haven't I now become a fire elemental natural fruit ability user? As for the shortcomings, fire style will be countered by water style. If you are attacked by water style in the state of fire elementalization, you will also have an adverse reaction of being unable to move your body. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd.